So it looked like as we went away, there was an attempted boost from Grievous, which seems to have failed. But he's shooting his way out of trouble, taking a V19 off the board.
So Grievous is taking 1, maybe 2 shots, unless Ricky decides to shoot into Chertek.
Yeah, I think he's taking 2. It looks like he's going to be. It looks like he's at range 1 in both arcs. To my eye, the yellow and the blue. But
yeah, so actually, Chertek's a really bad choice, right? Because of the evade token, because of his ability to. Actually, he doesn't have any rerolls. Oh, no, he does. He has 1, assuming that turret is still alive.
Because they're in the firing arc, yeah. Is he going to kill his reroll here, though?
I mean, it's very possible. It's also boosted forward, so let's have a look. That one.
Chertek may have fired in the meantime. This is Ricky firing now, so Chertek must have taken his shot already, and we missed that. Because it's important, I think we're going to send Lloyd off to scoot round.
So I'm looking to see how much damage is in green, right?
Yeah. It's the first time Lloyd has ever obeyed me. Feels strange. Oof, now some bad evade dice. Grievous really not doing Mark any favours in this game. Oh, green died to console fire, okay.
So yeah, green had taken 4 damage, one of which was a console fire, and it activated just then and died from it.
I think we're behind on Grievous's damage. I think he might have 1 hell left.
We'll go check in a sec.
It starts with 5, doesn't he? So yeah, pretty sure he's got 1 left.
Oh, I'm regenning things. Oh, wait a minute. I pressed the wrong button. Let me just fix everything. Sorry, 1 sec.
So after we've been doing so well, we've realised that we've completely neglected to update the damage for the vast majority of this game. Apologies, guys. You've been very kind and not been shouting at us in the chat. Lloyd is sorting that out now. We'll get things more up to date with you. You can see from yourselves that there's obviously only 3 ships left from the swarm.
So yeah, Grievous has got 4 damage cards on him, so must be down to 1.
Yep. And is Chertek still full?
No, Chertek has at least a damage card on him, but I'm not sure. I'll check in a sec.
And I think that gold squadron that we've got on 4 is in fact dead.
The margin of error is 5.
Yeah. So,
if that's the case, then the game is much closer. 12-point game, which is half a torrent.
1 less than half a torrent.
Well, yeah. That's the important thing.
So Mark in position here, if he scores 13 more points, then he will be 1 point up in the game. But obviously he needs to keep Grievous alive, or he's going to struggle to get the points back.
So
Sinker in a slightly difficult spot now. I think he's going to struggle to get a shot.
Was in fact halved.
Chertek's halved. Well, we had no idea what was going on.
Which means that Mark is now 40 points behind and needs to kill a torrent and a half to win. No. That's not enough. Killing...
Sinker.
Yeah, killing Sinker, halving Sinker and killing a torrent would win, but he's got 11 minutes, so 5 ships on table, maybe 2 rounds, unlikely to be 3.
I think the possible advantage of that, so sorry we were so out on the damage, guys. Obviously the stream cutting out didn't help. I think that's where we missed the damage on Chertek. That's what I'm going to blame.
I'm going to blame the fact that at the start of this round I got given a whole bunch of Lego, and I'm really excited about it.
And but I think it makes the decision-making process at least easier for Mark. He has to stay engaged and he has to keep getting shots. So actually, I think Sinker's going to struggle to get arc.
Yeah, Sinker's going to struggle to be doing anything meaningful, right? So Sinker's probably 1 bank or 2. Well, is 1 bank or 2 turning, right? It's which way is the question. So if he turns up the board, he probably never fires again.
But if he turns down, he's flying away from the torrents.
Yeah, and then he turns all of his mods off for everyone else because he's going to turn his back arc up to the entire list.
And killing both torrents is enough. I think the problem, and probably when this all plays out, the deciding factor is going to be that I can't see Grievous surviving to the end of the game.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult. So I think what we've seen here again actually is representative of my few games against Nantex, where yes, you can take out Sunfac potentially in a round if he gets in the wrong position. But if there are multiple Nantex, just one remaining is often enough to really cause some issues.
Yeah, and as you rightly said at the start, with that initial trade of Rick for Sun, all of a sudden Chertek's an ace, and yeah, although he doesn't have the absolute dice throwing power of Sun, he's got more mods, and he has been not one-shotting things, but chipping damage away.
The most accurate assessment and analysis of the game today from Charles, Death Range blog. Dom, you're needed back on the stream. These guys don't know what they're doing. Never a truer word has been spoken.
I'm hurt. So, if we're playing the perfect information game, Ricky now claiming to have lost his phone. I can only think that there's a delaying tactic.
Yeah. It's disgraceful behavior.
We're on to him. He knows. Grievous, okay here if he's not in arc, but not shooting, and that, with 9 minutes left, is what Mark needs to do.
Flips the crit, which I think might have been console fire. Who knows? It's flipped now, it doesn't matter. Let's say it was console fire, because no one can disprove. I'm 100% certain it was console fire.
Ooh. Chertek turning towards the board edge.
I think that's to do with just keeping his mobile arc in play.
Yep.
It's going to continue to try and one dance around that space. So
Yes.
Chertek only has 2 health, don't forget.
And is now at range 2 of Sinker.
We welcome Sean McCherry to the chat, also telling us that we're shit. Thank you. Oh, I swore on stream. I lasted 4 rounds.
Boo and shock. And for the, I presume, one person who had Lloyd swearing first in the sweepstakes, the shock result, one of the most shocking results of the day so far. I'm sorry, Sean. I know you've
Sean that did it. Yeah.
I know you've got tender young ears.
Penalty points.
We will be punishing Lloyd. Thankfully, Nick was out of the room, so he doesn't know we've ruined his reputation.
Yeah, just continue tipping. Everything will be fine. We'll never be back. In the meantime, while we're watching this, so Ricky is part of Chaos. Mark is 1066, which is led by the traitor Dale Cromwell. And Dale is sitting there looking not happy at this result.
I think
that was Chertek taking a boatload, was it? Oh, I think it was Chertek rolling a boatload and not having a focus.
No, I think Chertek just nattied out of the shot, yeah. I don't know how much damage has been done to the blue squadron. Your swearing really was ill-timed, young man.
It was Dale looking miserable that swung it for me. I've never seen him looking anything but happy. Ricky suddenly looks a bit tense.
You work out how much damage is looking at. We've sent a spy to work out how much damage we've now got. So the blue torrent we think might have taken some damage. Oh, fantastic. Chris reckons blue took 2 damage. We trust you implicitly, Chris.
Thank God for people on the stream paying attention. Let's do that. So he is not halved. But does not have a lot of places to go and has a Nantex turning in behind him, albeit with his arc facing right, so limited.
Yeah, the Nantex is... I think the play here is to put Sinker in a position to block the barrel roll in from the Nantex, which I think you do so, right? With almost any move on Sinker's dial.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if you too hard Sinker upboard, then the Nantex won't be able to get its arc around to shoot at you.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% that
might just sneak into Sinker's side arc. Also, I don't know who P's1 on the chat is, but yeah, no respect. That's what happens when you hide behind a fake name. Unless his name is Paulese, but I don't think it is. Sean McCherry in chat says that his girlfriend has left him in Paper Chase. It's fine. You don't need that. You don't need a girlfriend. You have X-Wing. X-Wing will solve all of your problems.
I'm going to say there's an internet person. There's a person who is watching plastic spaceships being played on the internet whilst pretending, presumably, to have a girlfriend.
Yeah, X-Wing has never made me sleep on the sofa.
To be fair to Sean, that is a detailed and elaborate fantasy world he's brought himself there. Most people's pretend girlfriends, go to the movies with them. They don't abandon them in Paper Chase. Do you think that So I think the only way that Chertek gets a shot here is to one hard and then barrel roll inboard, but I don't think there is a ship that could then end up in that arc. So I don't think Chertek is shooting.
Well, I think Chertek has
remember, we can't see the top of the board, so I think actually the one turn right probably does stay on the board, and that's probably the play. Oh, sorry, one turn left is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, look at it, I can almost see. I think actually he's got a lot more room to the left than it looks like.
Well, I mean, this doesn't mean
yeah, I think he's got enough room that like a 2-turn would fit, is how much space there actually is at the top of the board. They very impolitely decided to fight in a bit of space that we can't really see. So again, I think penalty points is probably the solution there. So again, nice little one turn out, just threaten Grievous. Grievous is at one hull.
But I think Grievous needs to
get involved. He needs to turn back in, yeah.
Which, yeah, I can't see a way out of this for Mark at this late stage.
Ricky, you filthy animal.
I mean, it fit with that little nudge.
I mean, the nudge helped.
And I wondered whether this too hard fit. I quite like this unless it's on the rock. It looks okay. It is not okay, it's on the rock.
Do you remember that bit where we were saying all those nice things about Ricky and how well he was doing?
Still not halved.
Nope.
Where these arcs have a lot of health.
Needs one more to be halved.
And I think takes a crit from that and double stress.
Took a panicked, yeah. But do you know what? Whichever turn it's doing, yeah. The barrel roll, rotate left, barrel roll is now much better.
Yeah.
Because completely no return. So it looks like he's going to half sink here. He's going to put him 13 points behind.
So if he halves sinker here
and
halves a torrent.
Yeah. Again, another close finish. It's going to come down to some dice.
So we need a talent roll here from Grievous, which is what we're getting.
Other. We're about 2.5 minutes away from seeing a grown man cry.
Oh, just the disengage. I think that needed to be the sloop.
He needs.
He would have been incredibly lucky to survive, and I can see why he's disengaging. But I think with this much time left on the clock, it's difficult to see how he wins from here now. Although, stranger things have happened.
Don't forget, is 1 health away from being halved.
Yeah.
So he's relying on Chertek to do it all, right? Chertek has to do this, which
he probably gets 2 rounds in though. Yeah. So that's half the job done, and he's going to get another round of firing in here. So maybe the correct choice from Mark there, thinking that he needs Grievous to survive. There's no point halving a B-19 if Grievous then dies in return.
So how much did Sinker just take then? That was a lot, right?
3.
Leaves him on 2. So actually, Sinker dies next turn and Grievous survives this.
Weapons failure on that torrent there. Doesn't do any damage.
Ricky just throwing dice away. 2 hits.
2 hits.
Needs everything.
Oh, gets it. Man alive. Didn't. You shouldn't have stressed for the focus. You shouldn't have stressed for the focus. Didn't need it. So, this game continuing to be interesting.
So I think you saw a range ruler there being thrown across the table. It was 100% done in jest. These guys are having a lot of fun. Ricky has a big smile on his face, even as he can feel the game slipping away. But yeah, again, just really good spirits.
So Grievous is out of there. Don't think he takes any decent fire next round. Presumably goes as fast as he can with a blue move, boosts and focuses. So this is all about whether Chertek can kill Sinker.
So Sinker's fastest move away is going to be what, 2 bank left, right? 2 bank left, open your arc up, hope and pray. Or 2 hard right, try and get in the way.
Yeah, I was looking at the 2 hard right. I am not convinced that the 2 hard blocks the 1 hard. Yeah, I'm not convinced that 2 hard right blocks the 1 hard left, and if it doesn't, he's in big trouble.
So it depends on how fast Mark tries to pursue.
So yeah, on a kind of classic 50-50 end of the game.
So that is time on the round right now.
If Ricky runs and Mark plays for the block, then it's to Ricky's advantage. But obviously if Ricky goes for the block and doesn't get it, then he's in real trouble.
Yeah, he's going to have a not tracted arc, admittedly, because only 1.
Yeah.
So Chertek wouldn't get his rerolls, but would be bullseye arc range 1, so 4 dice.
I'm going to say I wasn't paying attention, but I think they got that right. I think that Ricky still rolled his evade dice this turn.
So I think Chris in the chat is saying that Sinker should bank and then roll right. He can't roll because he has 2 stress. Took a panic pilot. And yeah, again, the chat just confirming that he did roll 1 defense, 1 die on defense. So again, just to remind you, the arc had a tractor beam, but it's not tractor because of its medium base.
The other option here for Mark would be to try and halve the blue. We give him a 1-point victory, but they'd be better men than me if they know the points to that detail at this stage of the game.
Yeah, we have them being calculated for us, and I'm not 100% sure. So
I think this is all correct. I think he just needs to...
yeah, the tractor beam has gone away. I think it's just a 10 spot around. The players will know it's not there. So Ricky just spreading his arcs, hoping for that god shot into Grievous.
Yeah, and Grievous has got 1 health here. He could die to even the poorest quality shot. 2 hard away.
So opening up his rear arc, giving himself a bit of distance. Gives a reroll to that torrent, yellow. What tractor beam? What are you talking about?
We're going to see the boost focus here. He's going to be taking maximum 1 shot. If
and it's going to be range 3 obstructed with a focus, with a reroll.
You've got to hope there that you don't take the final damage.
Yeah, I think if Grievous takes 1 there, you're going to be very upset.
And now, how close can this Nantex get? Not close enough.
So needs
Arc currently rotated sideways.
2 damage, has a 2 die primary.
And nothing else he can do about it. So I think you focus here and hope.
Focus and pray.
Yeah, because taking the tractor himself, dangerously puts himself in the wrong.
Is that a tractor beam in his hand or a focus? I think it's a focus. I don't think he can improve the situation. I think he's not going to get to range 1.
Yeah, all of his tractors aren't good.
And he doesn't want to rotate that arc. Rotating the arc would be a disaster.
It would.
If that arc is sideways, which I think it is, then if he tractors himself, I don't think he gets a shot. I think he has to stay there and focus.
I think so too.
We're unfortunately not going to have time for interviews at the end of this game. Both players playing an incredible game here. If I'd been Mark, I'd have given up after turn 1. I think he's done an incredible job to get it this close. Doing both. I'm not sure what the play is here from Arc. Unless I'm mistaken and the arc is in the wrong direction. Arc rotates forwards.
I think he might have given himself
he's going for the yellow V19, which maybe that's the damaged one. So possible here that the yellow V19 is the damaged one, but that feels like an incredibly risky play. Re-roll there for something. And
so I think he ended up having no shot, and I think the only shot was sinker back into Chertek, I think. Maybe has the shot. I think they happened out of order. I think Shinka shot first.
I think they've shot in the wrong order.
Nope, has nothing by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's slightly unclear what's happened there. But I think that was Ricky killing.
I think it was Ricky pulling out of the bag. Did Chertek die?
Yeah.
Chertek died or not? Yes, we think Chertek survived on 1, so no more points were scored. So if we have that right...
Confusion reigns, I apologise.
Ricky wins it 135 to 123. We're just getting a quick check from the table. But yeah, I think, again, a game really well flown by both players. I think Mark is going to, when he comes back and look at that, it wasn't a great shot, the focus into sinker, but it was the best shot he had.
Yeah.
And I think he got aggressive trying to boost it.
I'm just wondering with that boost whether we are incorrect about which is the damaged V19. I'm trying to understand that final move, because up to that point everything had been played really nicely.
Yeah.
And then, understandably, with the pressure of the final round, there was shots coming in out of order. I'm not sure where Sinker's reroll came from. Maybe he picked up a target lock earlier in the round. That's the most likely thing.
Yeah, quite possible.
There is a target lock in this top right-hand corner of the board here. That may well have been from Sinker onto Chertek.
And in fact, the two players now are just going through scores and making sure they've got it as well. Just while we're doing updates, I'm seeing a few results come in. So Zachary had been on stream last round, who was undefeated. I believe lost this round. Tom Forstner, who is undefeated, lost this round. So dominoes are falling.
Alex Burt, we already talked about, he was undefeated prior to this round and I think lost. So it might be a big evening up of the scores.
I feel like we did a good job there, just commentating on all the players who were doing well and all of them lost. Actually, I think Phil won. So Phil might be alone at the top of the standings. But obviously team results, so it does depend very much on what the rest of your team have done.
So we are trying to work out what happened. I mean, that yellow V19 didn't take a shot, so if it's important, we've got one more shot left in the game. I think.
And yeah, Dom on the chat just saying there that Ricky did remove a token after re-rolling, so it probably was the luck. And yeah, Phil Pond from Firespray lost as well by the looks of it, so he is now 3-1.
I think the assumption from the players is that Ricky had won by doing whatever damage he did to the Nantex. Tell you what, if we send Lloyd to go and chat to them and work out what happened, just so we know, otherwise I'll always be wondering. We're rolling the final attack. That's one hit on Grievous. Grievous survives the final attack.
We're going to give you to Nick, and Nick's going to update you on scores. Just jump in.
There is a damage wrong. So, okay.
So we've got some errors on our side from the damage. I presume that maybe we've got a gold squadron that had been halved.
Yep.
Is that the final result?
That is the correct score.
Wow. So I still don't understand why he took the tractor beam to get the shot.
There it was.
But there we are.
I assume he thought he could pass it off to Sinker.
Don't listen to any large Irishmen you may come near in the next couple of weeks. Nantex are indeed broken.
And by large, I'm pretty sure he means large personality, right?
I meant tall.
Okay, tall, right. And yeah, just a question in the chat again, or a comment in the chat. Yes, tractor beam, barrel rolls, and boosts are only ever straights, unless Star Vipers, right?
Yes.
Stupid Star Vipers. Yeah. So unless it's a Star Viper, the boost and/or barrel roll is always straight. And if you tractor beam and barrel roll a Star Viper, it is always bending because rules. Because micro thrusters say must be used.
If you're moving them forwards, they go straight forwards.
But yeah, because it's boost. Yeah, because that's micro thruster barrel rolls.
Yes, definitely. Rick did lose that by a point. The
Yellow
apparently had. There was a gold squadron, so apologies, there was a gold squadron that was halved going into that final round. Our spy, and indeed chat, we can blame you two, let us down by saying that was 2 damage. We obviously missed the damage at some stage.
Which, still not, it didn't turn out to be crucial, because we didn't look like idiots.
Still not entirely sure what was happening in terms of... Still not entirely sure what happened in that final round. There were shots not taken that could have been taken, ships moving out of order. But I think we got the right result in the end.
Cats and dogs living together, ends of days.
And definitely a really exciting match. So we're going to have a short break. We'll keep the stream up, we'll mute the microphones, and we'll be back in the next sort of 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, girls and boys, we are back up and running. This round, we're just getting the list entered, but we are looking at Martin Shevers of the TNX Squadron up against, provisionally, Alex Burt of the 186 Squadron. So Martin's running FO Aces. He's got an Upsilon, Quickdraw, and Kylo. And Alex is running the 5 A-Wing list that he's been running on and off all year. I think the 186 are considering using their swap card. So I'm going to put Martin in first, and we'll see what happens from the 186 side. Okay, so lists are in. Alex has decided not to swap opponents. In his words, Phil and Joel were happy, and Andrew's never happy. Everyone else in the room has swapped opponents, and the TO is looking like they want to die. So, pro tip. Hi, I think it's probably muted there. So here we've got round 5 of the tournament for you. We've got Martin Chivers with First Order Aces, Lieutenant Tabson naked, Kylo naked, and Quick Draw with Predator, Special Forces Gunner, and Fire Control System for a massive 1-point bid. First Order are expensive, ladies and gentlemen.
I think mostly Tabson is expensive, right? That's a lot of beef you're throwing around in front of stuff.
Yeah. And then versus a list you should all know well. This is 186 Captain Alex Burt with 5 A-Wings, so 3 named and 2 Blue Squadron blockers. There was a bit of consideration from the 186 about using their Phantom Menace card to swap opponents, but in the words of Alex, Phil was happy, Joel was happy, and Andrew Patterson is never happy. So they're staying where they are. There were a lot of Phantom Menaces played this round, so we're just having a little delay whilst the rest of the room swaps opponents.
Increasingly players are realising, A, they can get themselves out of bad matchups, and B, they're panicking they haven't used stuff. So lots of bounties, lots of Phantom Menaces this game.
Yeah. Everyone's realised they've got a pocket full of little pieces of paper and haven't used them yet.
Absolutely right.
The tournament organiser looks slightly like he wants to kill himself. I would strongly advise, if you're planning a tournament of your own, don't allow people to swap pairings after the pairings have been made.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting idea, right? It adds another layer of
it's really fun.
But having to manually then repair a whole bunch potentially of pairings is hard work on a TO.
It's a very fun idea, but from an organisational point of view, a horror show. So these guys just setting up. Alex can't play X-Wing, so has brought gas clouds.
Only 2, so he's only 66% bad. I nearly swore on stream again, man.
The seal's been broken. And these guys going for a fairly loose spread of rocks, it looks like.
Yeah, so I think Alex is of the opinion that A-Wings want wide open spaces to find out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It keeps their whole dial open for them, and I think he's right in that decision. And again, Tabson doesn't really want to have to deal with obstacles. The rock in the middle is a minor irritation for him, but it should be easy enough to get around.
I think it's pretty even sort of turn 0, but I think I prefer it for Alex just because Tabson's still going to have a little bit of trouble getting around that stuff, whereas the A-Wings, they might as well not be there.
Yeah, I think I feel like both players have got a lot of opportunities. Alex has the potential to get in a position where he's almost never taking shots, certainly never receiving good quality shots. But he's also got the opportunity that Tabson can just one-shot A-Wings if he get in the wrong place.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he needs to constantly be aware of that and being in the right place.
And he is out initiative here.
Yeah, and so Tabson moving at 3, Kylo moving at 5, so blocking Tally weirdly might be the easiest thing for him to do.
Yep. I think Alex has played his bounty, so if he wins, that's 2 points. That was partially because he fancies the matchup, and partially because he and Andrew have them less, so one of them's got to play it this round.
So that means Andrew's gone 5 rounds, does not feel confident of winning any of those games.
Yeah.
But they both did lose last round as well, so I imagine they both took a bit of a beating to their confidence.
Yeah, so we'll give you the team scores in a moment once the TOs sorted themselves out. But I think it will have closed up a lot. The 186 took a bit of a shoe-in last round. They won 1 game and lost 3. And I think a number of the other squads are kind of coming up from behind.
So
going in.
Those scores, we'll give you a quick update. The TO is entering them currently.
And so hopefully going to the final round, we're going to have everything to play for.
So in terms of the way Alex is set up, do you think he has his 2 blue squadrons together?
We could have found out if we'd been paying attention. But we'll find out in a moment when they start to move.
That wasn't the question I asked. The question wasn't, are we paying attention? The question is, what do I think?
No, I don't think he does. I think these near ones are number 1 and number 3. Unless he's some kind of monster, he will have numbered them in order of their pilot skill.
So he's taking 2 lead blockers, essentially.
Yeah. I'm going to say pilot skill. I know it's officially initiative, but like if you tried to type initiative kill into a chat,
yeah.
you know, PS kill, that works. I kill, that's not a thing.
And if you write I1, everyone's like, what on earth?
Yes, yeah, what are you talking about? So we got both.
Cagey setups, actually. I like the way that they've set up, kind of almost like they're having 3 separate fights. Obviously, the A-Wings don't want any part of jousting into Tavson. But I'll be interested to see, again, kind of what engagements they look at. I think Alex's plan with this usually is to, just try and pull people apart and out of position, and then bring all of his A-Wings in together into one shot, into the same target.
Yeah, I think most of the guys in the chat seem to be fairly experienced X-Wing players, but just in case there's anyone who's a bit less experienced, we'll run through the abilities here. Quick Draw is similar to 1.0 Quick Draw in that when he loses his shield, he can perform a bonus attack. He can no longer double tap because the double tap counts as a bonus attack, so he can only do 1 bonus attack per round. The Kylo, again, same ability. When he takes damage,
we can pull the card up and have a look. Yeah, I believe so.
he can assign a crit to the opponent, which the next time that opponent suffers a crit, it will get the crit and not take shields or whatever the other damage would be.
Which again is usually not something that's too important, but with these A-Wings again, where they're stressed every turn, yes, they have the ability to get out of town, but they don't want to be doing it.
So yeah, after you defend, you may spend 1 force to assign the I'll show you the dark side condition to the attacker.
So in fact, no need to take damage this time, just when he defends.
Yeah.
It's like an angry and leaner Kylo.
And again, not always super relevant unless, I don't know, you had a First Order TIE fighter that could take a crit to add a crit to Kylo's roll, and your Anakin, who is as yet untouched, had the double stress crit floating around on him. I mean, that could be really game changing. Never play Andy Brazier.
So again, as the stream chat is just mentioning, the debris was brought by Alex because Tavson doesn't want to be anywhere near debris. Stress shuts down his entire ability.
So I apologise. Alex is not bad at X-Wing. Is that what we're saying? Doesn't sound like what we should be saying.
It's good in America.
We're all good in America.
Note that neither Paul nor I are going to Worlds. So we don't have a Worlds invite.
And have never played X-Wing in America.
It's very easy to be confident when you don't have to back it up by playing.
But I mean, 11 are the 186th again, right? So we can really set them up for a fall.
Well, plus last chance 14 of them are going, right?
Yeah.
Just not us.
It's almost one of them's bound to win it, right?
I mean, I think our best chance is FFGC this and decide they need a backup stream. And that is a slim chance.
Yeah, I mean, we are available probably.
Yeah, if the other 87 stream teams are unavailable, we'll just slide in there into second place.
I'm going to need flights for me, Roz, and the baby.
The baby's newborn, right? It can just go
it's not yet.
Well, it will be, hopefully. Yeah, a newborn baby definitely fits in overhead luggage.
That's the recommended.
Well, I'm not suggesting you check it. That's a bit mean.
Oh, it's made me laugh.
So promise me, Paul, that your wife will never listen to this.
Oh, she's not going to watch X-Wing. Don't worry about that.
I think we're safe.
So,
so Tab's actually getting
quite an aggressive, which I like. I think correctly identifying that Alex wasn't going to joust down towards him. Yeah, so that's a really nice opening move.
Obviously, always the danger of getting an A-wing or two behind, but that reinforce will really slow down the rate at which Tabson takes down.
Yeah, and I think it just wasn't likely to happen. Alex would have, gambling on the fact they don't fire straight towards him, but I think that feels like a pretty safe gamble.
Yeah, it's interesting, wasn't it? Because obviously Quick Draw now is much faster than she used to be as a 5 forward. But even this, if you not that I think Martin has, but even if you had 5 forward in here, the A-Wings still have so much room to get out and disappear afterwards.
Yep. Yeah, I expect quite a cagey game, probably a few turns until we engage.
Yeah, and I think that timer is on Martin, right? Because Tafson is going to drift slowly out of position.
Yep, absolutely. And I think with a couple of engagements, even with the reinforce, we're looking at, potentially halving Tavison relatively easily.
Yep.
And then there's
with 5 shots.
And then that's a few A-wings dead to sort of make up those points. not to, and if they were to go to final save, I doubt they will. Alex is up. Just. Is he?
He's up by
No.
1. He's quick,
Yeah,
quick
he's up by
back
1.
to 2.
So don't do that. Not a good plan.
Although we have seen games finish 5 A-wings with everything on the table, of course. James Harden did it at Euros.
Yep.
I'm still not quite sure how.
Well, I mean, that was the one. That was once he'd worked out how to dial in moves correctly. Yeah.
I mean, flying off the table, so you don't officially give everything alive doesn't count. So interesting. I think again, like I quite like both players here. I feel like you're going to see at least one more turn of caginess. I don't think you're going to see anyone putting themselves in there. But it looks like at the moment everything is kind of equidistant. Like the A-wings are all the same sort of distance away, and I feel like you're probably going to see that continue. Right? The ones at the bottom might come in a bit further, and the ones on the left hand of the screen might move away a little bit.
Yeah, I think Alex kind of wants to keep on the periphery of the board, circling, and kind of force Martin into kind of committing to something. And then the A-wings, that's where they come alive. The ones that are chased can get away nice and easily, and the others can come in and punish.
And we've just had our TO Jared putting in our results here. So total scores after round 4. So Zombie Squadron and TNX are and 1066 are in the lead. So
186.
Points. I said it wrong.
Start again.
I've never heard of any of these people. 186 Squadron currently on 14 points. Zombie Squadron on 12. 1066 on 12. Dead, TNX, Firestorm, and Weeple on 11 points. So still very, very close to the top.
Yeah, any of those guys could win.
Bounty.
So there's bonus points for being top of your pool.
There are indeed.
So the last round is going to generate, if you play everything right, if you play your bounty and you get all 4 guys at the top, that's 9 points. That's not obviously incredibly unlikely everyone scores all of those, but with that lump of points to score, everyone down to, and probably including Chaos, could still win this.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd expect obviously the teams that are doing well to also top pull.
Yes,
so you might see a pull away, but it's an interesting system, and obviously nobody here has done it before, so we're not quite sure exactly how it's going to pan out.
I think there's going to be a bit of a wait for the results to be announced rather than anyone knowing that they're winning it.
Sure. So as predicted, Alex has brought his bottom A-wings in much closer, 3-turning them in.
That's not what I predicted at all.
But the blue squadron at the front is coming up, I would say, a bit too far and a bit too fast.
Yeah, he looks like he could get messed up by Tavison here. Actually, Alex has come in a lot more aggressively than I thought he would. I would have thought those bottom guys would skirt.
I assume he's anticipating quick draw banking in, or even turning in.
And I'm trying to catch him. Okay. And then if you trade 1 for quick draw, then you're all good. Yeah. Because Kylo, as Alex will have identified, can't get in this round. So, you make a good point.
I don't know that barrel. That barrel takes away Kylo's fire forward next turn. Or at least makes it really unappealing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't really change anything in terms of the angle of attack. It doesn't make the bank any better. I suppose the only thing is it brings him on a different line to quick draw, so maybe if you're worried about quick draw getting in the way.
Yeah, you can take one out quickly and try and swap the other one in.
So quick draw flowing at or about range 3. It's going to take...
Actually takes it off, doesn't measure for it, definitely in range 3 though.
I mean, I think he takes fire from the stressed A-wing that's nearer to him, and the further right.
Shots, right.
I think he's out of arc of that middle one that he's locked. So I think not a bad engage here from Martin. And we're just going to turn the dice box on, hopefully without killing everything. So apologies, we don't know what we're doing. So that looks like 2, and Alex is spending the focus to take nothing. That guy is at range 3 of Tavson, but Tavson is unmodded. Alex unlikely to shoot him and give him the mod. especially with that being in range. So should be okay.
So no shot from Tally.
So did they decide that was out?
I think, or maybe declined to take it.
Oh, declined. Oh, because of quick.
So no shot from Jerry, that's down to Zari.
So if you're shooting with Zari, why not shoot with... Anyway, I think it must have been out of range.
One evade from Victor, so no damage. But I think this is the turn. Alex isn't looking to do damage this time, he's just getting in position so the next turn he can leap on them. I'd be very surprised if he spent any focuses even on attack. They're the ones that are in range of the Upsilon.
Yep. This isn't a very appealing shot for the Upsilon. 5 dice, so 4 into 5 unmodded. But maybe better than the guys with mods. Not sure. I think I'd be firing at one of these 2 bottom guys here. Yeah, the range 2 I think is much more appealing. Oh, perfectly into the corner. That looks like a lot of paint. And no shields being flipped, so I think we're okay. So a whole lot, not very much.
So back down to the initiative ones. So range 3 shot.
This is not a bad turn to take a shield from quick draw. Okay. Yeah, it's not a bad turn to take a shield from quick draw. But he obviously doesn't want to leave anybody without focus, so he doesn't spend the focus there. And here is gets 2 hits. Oh, with optics, yeah. I thought he was cheating there. So that 2 hits. Worth taking the risk. And takes a damage. Interesting there, sort of decided not to spend to get 2 hits with one guy, but then the same decision makes it in a different direction.
Yeah. I think it depends where you don't. I think he declined to spend from the bottom guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're taking that shot, why not?
You know, if you're ever going to spend the focus to get 2 hits, it's possible that it was only going to be the 1 hit, but it looked like he had 2 paint. Maybe it's just that he doesn't want to lose the named. He thinks they're more valuable, and so he's happy to kind of take the risk with the initiative 1. Alex just rolling all over the place.
Just a mat. But it does look
but
like he's never rolled
takes a shield there, presumably on the initiative 1. I don't know. Okay. Okay, and now the other initiative 1. 1 hit there.
Alex rolling the saddest result for advanced optics A-Wings blank focus.
So, being hypercritical, I don't really understand the decision not to spend with that 3rd A-Wing.
Yeah, let's assume there was something we missed, but I think even still looking at this, trading 1 shield on an A-Wing for 1 shield on quick draw is not bad.
This is done, it's a nice outcome.
Okay, so to have some probably coordinates quick draw in action. Depending on what that action is, there's a very real chance that quick draw still takes a lot of punishment this turn.
Yeah.
There's every chance he takes 4 shots this turn.
Yeah, the matchup's interesting though, because both quick draw and Kylo, even on their own, would be a potential problem. You know,
1 shot things. Yeah, heroic helps, but obviously it's not a guarantee.
So I think you can afford. Well, how much can you afford to lose to take quick draw off the table?
And I think you have to take quick draw first, right? Because you can't be affording to trade those double tap shots.
Yeah, and I think also the potential to just waste fire into Kylo. Like if you go for Kylo first and blow him up, brilliant. But if you go for Kylo first and he evades everything, meanwhile quick draw's ripping you a new one from behind, that's a real terrible situation.
So what you need to be careful with for Alex is quick draws rotate up, just bugging out, rotating and shooting it back. Obviously the A-Wings can do the same thing. So what kind of blocks would you expect here with the A-Wings?
So from a quick draw point of view, the 1 turn is red. So if he's gonna, and I think the one turn does fit in front of that rock, but it puts his arc in a slightly weird place, and it'll get him stressed. So he could, to kind of really disengage and turn away, he's going to end up using up the coordinate of the Upsilon and kind of facing out the fight. So I don't think Quick Draw disengages here. I think he comes in and just says, right, let's see how much we can burn down. Yeah.
If he does, though, I think there's a real chance he gets no actions.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know though. If I was playing for the block, I'd go with that one. No, mate, that does block the sloop, and sort of, which is probably a sensible thing to be blocking, because the worst case scenario is that you let him fly over you and not get shot. So this kind of closes him down a bit. He's not going to be able to barrel run any of arcs because of the position of that asteroid in the centre of the table. So I quite like this in terms of a let's kill quick draw kind of kill box. Not quite sure where the sort of centre of the unmoved X-Wings goes now. Don't know if the one hard fits there. So he may be bumping.
Yeah, I would have liked that one to go slightly slower and maybe bank in. But
oh, so the boost is going to sort out the.
But that's going to take.
So
So he's not going to rotate the arc.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, one A-wing lost a shield. We're not 100% sure which one it was, so we'll come back to that in the score later on.
So it's this one. It's we'll work it out when they move.
It was this one, right? So
Yeah.
Sorry, or Greer. Oh, no, sorry, Greer or Talon.
So that's nice.
I think it's
Like
Greer.
having to boost that A-wing though, does give. Ooh, that's tricky. Okay, well he's well on it, which is good given the knock, because you wouldn't want him to kind of there to be any question. Okay, so misjudgment, that really does Alex a favour.
Dom and the rest of the chat, by all means, do feel free to point stuff out, because based on the last game, we're not always 100% accurate on where damage and things are. So, yeah.
We just got excited.
You guys being involved in contributing is beneficial. By all means, continue.
So looks like Tavson coordinated. So has he got a collision detector or something we don't know about?
Took a damage off the rock, took an action.
Oh, that seems just nonsense.
That's the kind of thing you do not plan for.
I've made a huge mistake. Doesn't matter. But the gun being out of the game is enormous, because that's 5 dice into one of these A-wings.
Yes, Tavson has limited shots anyway.
Yeah.
Losing one of them for a rock is a big
There's,
swing against.
at this stage, basically nowhere quick draw can go. This looks like it might squeeze in, might bump that guy. Oof.
This A-wing fans, though, is why you take all the ones on the same initiative.
Yes, yeah. Wow, that is tight. Did Alex do that by luck or through incredible skill? I will leave the chat to decide.
Yes.
No, it's incredibly well flown. Alex is really... He's clearly going for quick draw here, and he's...
Alex with these A-wings before, and I've seen these kill boxes, and he is consistently good at building them.
Yeah. And he's...
I've been in many of those kill boxes.
And you can see here, there is... Quick Draw's got no way out. Quick Draw's going to...
He's done the fun thing of everything on your dial as well.
Quick Draw's going to bump that, unless he does the stressful one hard, and that in itself is not fantastic. And he's not... he's not rotating the arc, so let's predict he hasn't done that. There's no way he can go. He's going to bump that front A-wing and get all 4 of the remaining A-wings firing into him. He's going to do some damage on the way out. He's going to be at range 1, but he's going to go the single mod. Doesn't have a target lock. Ooh, does have a target lock. Okay.
That's Predator as well.
Yeah, so he's going to do some damage on the way out here, but I think we probably see a dead quick draw this time.
Yeah, I spoke to Martin before the game, and he said that he had spoken to Simran about whether to have Predator on the list or not. Simran said no, and so Martin kept it.
Okay.
Which I thought was an incredible way of asking for advice, ignoring the advice. What you've done there is you've not given me the advice, I've chosen to ignore it. And let's see if it pays off. It looks like in this situation it's going to...
There's 2 types of X-Wings player, right? There's one who asks you a question because they want some advice, and there's one who asks you a question because they want you to agree with what they've already decided.
Yeah, I'm that category. And again, probably explains why we're here commentating.
Yeah. Oh my god, quick draw doesn't get out, does he? I mean, that 5 straight looked dangerously close to clearing. If quick draw makes it out of here...
And it is the manoeuvre that everyone always forgets, right? We spoke about it, but that 5 forward is... Because it wasn't
Yeah,
the first
I
edition,
think that's clear, man. Oof. Well, not disastrous, because he's not getting shot.
he can rotate.
Because it's not stressful. Oh, man, alive.
It is a white 5 forward.
Okay, well, that is suboptimal.
Simran in the chat is claiming he's never spoken to Martin.
Okay, well, that is a real good move with quick draw. And saw that coming.
And so from here, I didn't see what his first action was, but presumably lock rotates.
He's considering now. He's got the lock on that middle guy. And he's going to change over to that, I believe is Tarly. So now setting a range 1, target lock focus to Tarly with no incoming fire. Oof. I mean, like, Alex couldn't have tried harder for the block. He's got a couple of shots in on Kylo. And Tabson is still sat on that rock.
Looks like a natural 3.
But at least 1 paint from Alex. But a blank.
2 blanks by the looks of it. 1 blank.
Yeah, so that's both shields down on Tarly.
So half on Tally scores 21 points for Martin. Tally shoots into Kylo.
For nothing.
I think Roll just focuses having spent. And Tally had crackshot available as well.
Range 1 here from Kylo. Into I believe one of the PS1s. Not a great roll.
Lock isn't spending.
Yeah. Surely spends it here.
Unless he decided to change his shot.
No, yeah, no. He's spending it, yeah. And that looks like all 4.
Looks like 4. Oh, that looks
4
like a focus and 3
evades.
blanks.
4 evades. Why 4 evades?
Looks like a focus and 3 blanks.
Why did he roll 4 evades?
Why did he roll 4? Because Tally spent her charge to give him an extra.
Ah, cool. That's what I was confused. Okay. And so...
but the process took 3 damage.
So it's
into
one of the PS1s, I think.
one of the ones.
Up. Oh, I've killed it and can't unkill it. How do you unkill it?
It's just a scar, it's fine.
So apologies, that blue squadron at the top that's crossed out is not dead. Turns out once you kill something on this...
death was somewhat premature, it turns out.
No.
That just changes the order.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fine. No, we're just shuffling.
I've killed it and moved it.
What we did was we let Paul do IT stuff.
Oh wow, this has gone from what looked like quite a nice turn for Alex to really not good.
Yeah, the lesson is here, don't forget that SFs have a white 5 forwards.
Because
I have also forgotten.
I honestly thought it was blocked. I thought there was nothing he could do to get out there. 3 hits.
Into Tabson.
So Tabson takes...
looks like 3 shields. Showing to Kylo does nothing. Quick Draw has lost 1 shield.
Yes.
We're learning exciting things about how stream technology works.
He's alive!
Thanks, Dom. You can tell that Dom knows what he's doing and we don't, can't you? And I don't just mean commentating.
Okay, so all ships still on the table. This is still very much up for grabs. Tabson's got nowhere to go here. He moves before everything other than the ones.
Yeah, Tally, who's in front of him, is moving after.
And so he's got no move that gets him a shot.
And Kylo has no move that gets him a shot either, so there's a real chance here that Tally has a chance to get in Kylo's way and the rest of the A-Wings have shots.
Yeah. So, and Quickdraw is going to be a bit out of the fight, whatever he does.
1 forward.
Well, or you can too hard barrel roll.
Yeah,
and then you've got the rear arc already.
Yeah, what Quickdraw needs to be careful of is not taking a bunch of damage from those A-Wing butt guns. And yeah, as Dean says, Tabson really needs to get off that rock. I bet Martin wishes he brought another gas cloud right now.
Yeah, so remind me of the dial. In fact, I can probably remind myself.
So that was pretty good. He doesn't like being stressed, but obviously he's stressed currently. So could, I mean, 2 turn away, but he probably doesn't get another shot.
Yeah, the straights. He can't turn in towards the fight. The straights don't work either, I don't think. But he's got the 2 hard away or the 3 bank away, both of which fit. 3 bank away possibly gets in Quickdraw's way a bit, but both of them will give him the coordinate, which I think he will take.
Yeah, so 3 bank away, maybe give Quickdraw an action, depending on what he's putting into style.
Either way, though, he's not in the fight for a few turns because he's going to take a while to get back round out of that corner. I think maybe the 2 hard, assuming that some of the A-Wings are going to end up in the kind of top right-hand corner of the board this turn, the 2 hard might be better to kind of come back around and threaten.
I wonder how far Alec disengages them, because Kylo's stressed. Kylo, 2 turning up the board seems unnecessarily aggressive, right? So I think all of the A-Wings do almost their slowest moves, clear all the stress, focus, rotate, just take shots on the way out.
Yep.
And have a chance to put some real damage in.
Just having a quick look around the room. We've got 4 T-70s versus a droid swarm, and they're very much on the opposite side of the table from each other.
Yeah, it's interesting looking around the room. You see the different tempos people are playing at, the different eagerness to engage, their willingness to throw things into position. We're looking at Pete Mason here from 1066, who is absolutely playing a slow and patient game, as he tends to do. He's a very methodical, very consistent, very good player, but no willingness at all to early engage into it. And yeah, the table can pick up Joel, who is fully 3 tables away from us.
Whereas you've got Phil nearby.
And Joel is commentating on a different game.
Joel, obviously, who's on stream earlier, playing. Looks like probably. Oh, I know the list. It's an interesting list. It's the generic.
Is this Lee's list?
Yeah, generic resistance transport and 2 really loaded up i5 T70s.
Yeah.
No idea how it works.
Dom, yeah, we've got scores. Scores are in the chat just above. So 186 have 14 points. Zombie Squadron 12, 1066 12, Dead Squadron 11, TNX 11, Firestorm 11, Meeple Squadron 11. So it's really close to the top, just 3 points separating almost all of the room.
And everyone's sort of getting involved doing something. So Bunker, who were on 0 after the first round, have kind of started to turn it around. They've got 4 points now, so they've obviously had a much better second couple of rounds than they did the first. Yeah.
And yeah, I think what we've seen actually is even from across this room, there are a lot of players who are very experienced, who have done well at a lot of big tournaments, and then there are other players who are much newer to haven't played a lot of competitive X-Wing. But the gap between those 2 is not as big as you'd have thought.
No, absolutely. And like we were saying earlier, I can't remember whether they're saying on or off stream, but I think it was on stream. There have been no errors. We haven't seen any horrendous mistakes in terms of moves.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a single thing that anyone's done all day where I've looked at it.
This is,
you know that thing where you suck your teeth and you're like, oh.
Tabson here being on the rock is the first ship that's been on a rock in a stream game.
Minus Nantex, yeah. So yeah, there are a lot of separatist lists here today. I've not seen, non-Nantex separatist lists, just droid swarms. I've not seen how well they've been doing. I've not seen too many at the top of their results.
Alex with the intimidation move there. If you're not winning, just smash your opponent's ships to bits.
It's like the upside is enormous. They have everything. I remember when we were learning about how to beat 3 of them, and putting 3 of them on the table is just always in the way, always bumping something. That was definitely the worst thing about that list.
So yeah,
so
looks like
said, just slow moves out, focus rotate,
fan out a little bit, get the rear arcs working.
Use those butt guns.
You like that, right? You like butt guns.
Butt guns. It's fun to say.
I can tell that you're enjoying it.
I'm a butt gun gunner.
You like butt guns?
Like
and you cannot lie?
Yeah.
Apologies. Just apologies. I'm so sorry. So this looks like a bump.
Zari staying where she was, almost. Yep. So
remind me, is she cheaty take an action?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah.
That's actually a perfect slow roll. Rotate.
So presumably focus rotate there as well. Yep. Nice. That's a very nice play.
I'm so glad second edition fixed all the nonsense.
Yeah. Flying matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, to be fair, I think that if not entirely intentional, that was a case of, well, it's a good place for her to be if she clears, a good place for her to be if she doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think Kylo's too forwarded, but again, it just limits Martin's options.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if he has decided to turn in and get aggressive, knowing that Alex is going to slow roll, it puts Zari in a really doesn't put Zari in a good situation. She's
rotated. I think Alex has decided Kylo is not going too hard right here.
Oh yeah, I mean it would be unbelievably aggressive. With Tabson out of the fight, and it being unlikely that Quickdraw is going to get quality shots.
So too hard from Tabson, I think was the move. I think the 3 bank just puts him in a corner for too long.
Do we anticipate a reinforce or a coordinate? We get a coordinate. So focus rotate, which means the Quickdraw is snooping.
Yeah. Which is the right move, but does telegraph it a bit for Alex's remaining repositioning ships.
Yeah, I think Alex had already committed hard to it.
Yes, yeah. Nicely judged there from Alex, just slipping past that rock. So this is the turn. In any A-Wing matchup, this is the turn where they start to win the game. That previous turn could have gone better. If he got the block, obviously, it'd have been in a really nice position, but this is when they start to do things that other lists can't.
Yeah.
So I think for Zari's sake, you hope here that Kylo doesn't bump into that first A-Wing. Sort of goes over the top.
I think you would accept that, right? Because it gives you 2 or 3 really quality shots.
Yeah, and Zari, I suppose, is full. I just worry because Quickdraw is going to be firing at her.
Charles has posted, is that a Death Marine shuttle? I have no idea, Charles. I'm not a nerd.
It's quite embarrassing. That is the Greek letter Omega. It's just the last letter of the Greek alphabet, or sometimes it's used for resistance, which is confusing, right? Because this isn't a resistance list. Crap science jokes. I'm going to call it, at this point, we have hit our peak. This is the best stream I have ever listened to.
This is the best stream I've ever commented on. That's as far as I'm willing to go. So again, obviously, Martin will get a decent shot with Quickdraw, probably into Zari. But other than this, it looks like it's going to be Alex's round with shots pretty consistently across the board.
See, I've played against 5As once and I haven't played with it, so I don't know how much of a problem the amount of damage Alex took at the opening is. His position is nice now, but
he could just lose
did he take too much to get there? Does he start losing A-Wings now and getting...
Well, I think... So again, Kylo probably doesn't want to turn him on next turn. Tabson's going to be out of the game for a couple of rounds.
So he's not got many quality shots here this round.
Yeah. The difficulty Martin's going to have is Quickdraw... I mean, Quickdraw can range control, right? So Quickdraw can almost choose how many shots she takes every time.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of paint, so I don't think we're getting any damage to there.
Yeah, we'll just assume that A-Wings never take any damage unless Alex starts dealing cards.
And so that's potentially the only shot, unless Alex decides to fire at quick draw.
And I think
you've got to.
Zari,
You've
right?
just got to start doing damage.
You have the one shot, but even still, if it's Zari doing it, Zari's at full health.
Yeah, but I mean, he can shoot at the other one, but if he's got tokens left. I think we find out here, because if he starts to spend the focus...
Yeah, and plus 2 into the upside.
Yeah. I think he's firing at quick draw from how they measured. Maybe, I think he's thinking about it.
All of the bribes we paid early on are working out. We're getting lots of praise in the chat. That was money well spent.
So this is the decision, right? If you... Ooh, confused. Don't know what's happening now. Really don't know what's happening now.
So it's a 1 damage shot into Tabson.
Okay.
Tabson takes it.
And didn't spend the focus, so suggesting he is planning on shooting quick draw.
And so Tabson is into hull.
Good. Nice and impartial Ethel. Okay.
And so half the time puts...
didn't spend the focus there, right? So you've got to believe he's going to shoot quick draw here, because otherwise, why keep the focus?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was just bonus damage, right? Nerds in the blogs, in the chat, say that Ultramarines have the symbol upside down.
Oh, for a U. For Ultramarine. That makes sense.
Right.
Maybe there's a different one, though.
It's not an IP I know about. I can talk to you about board games. I can talk to you about erotic French films. I'm not going to. Naturals from Quick Draw there, I think.
It's always kind of bittersweet where quick draw evades. You're kind of like, oh, that's annoying, but at least I want to take
do I want to take 1 damage to it? Not really. So optimistic butt shot range 3 through a rock into Kylo. Gets the 2. Looks like some
paints.
Yeah, perfectly fine. So it's this round from Alex. Decent chunk of damage into Tabson.
Yeah, and he's going to get a couple more dice in here.
Looks like 2 again.
And that's at least 1. Maybe nothing. Maybe that's all that. It does 1, 2. 2 more damage.
So actually now with Tabson burning down, so it's the easy points Alex can score, but he's consistently scoring them. It's going to have to make quick draw be a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, and position-wise...
I wonder this turn whether Alex brings all of the A-Wings down to the bottom right-hand corner of the board, just to make sure that Tabson never gets another shot, and you kill him at some point in the next half an hour.
Yeah, and it's further away from from Kylo, sorry, isn't it?
Yeah,
so you get more rounds before he gets involved. The only problem with turning him down into the bottom corner is you might get unanswered shots from quick draw.
Potentially.
So Kylo, from that position, can't cater. Well, will lose his. No, it's a gas cloud, isn't it?
Yes. It's just the X cloud. Everything's fine.
Kylo can do whatever he likes. So Kylo can be coordinated and then do his nonsense.
Yeah, he could take. So if the top A-Wing decides to turn left and be aggressive and try and get in Kylo's way,
Yeah.
Martin could just as easily coordinate a lock to it. Kato out of the rock. And then even next time when he comes out, just going through debris cloud's fine because force.
So the rest are stressed, but that doesn't really hamper the A-Wings much. We know that they're not sleeping, but they very rarely do.
Yeah, it's very rare you sleep in A-Wing, isn't it? When you can just bank and do the same thing with a focus. So yeah, the problem A-Wings occasionally have is just drifting out of the fight a little bit, but I think in this case it's not necessarily a bad thing for Alex.
Yeah, and Alex has played them a lot, right? So he's kind of aware of that, and they're all, if they're all drifting in the right direction. So worst case scenario, they come back around and joust again. I don't think Alex wants that. I think he can probably achieve better than that.
Well, I think he did it last time and accepted it quite happily. Built a kill box, but just missed the one thing.
Yeah, I think the difference here is though with the A-Wings at 2 health and 1 health. On the approach, you lose them rather than set them right.
Joel just dropping into the commentary there from 3 tables away. Obi-Wan has, I believe, 2 health left.
There resistance are all
Loudest of all of the voices.
the resistance are all still alive on that table. Pete Mason, I think, engaging this turn. After flying around for half the game, they look like they're just straight jousting each other at this point.
It's the classic thing. I don't want to joust, I don't want to joust, I don't want to joust, I
Oh,
don't
it's
want to
joust,
joust.
yeah.
Except for offer of joust.
Phil still
He
playing?
got somebody from Nomad Squadron, but I'm not sure of the person's name. But it looks like an interesting matchup over there. I think it looks like Pete self-bumped a lot of his list to hold them back at range.
Dale presumably losing because he hasn't got Vader killed yet. Oh, Dale is now switched to his hyperspace list, so he's no longer Vader Riot. So he's got a dead son to yeah.
He has Duchess and Vader against 3 Separatist drones, unsure on damage. So it looks pretty good. But Dale is a traitor, and we give him no respect today.
Well, ship off the board for Joel. He's just lost Obi-Wan, I think. So he's looking in maybe a spot of bother.
Phil's game looks like they are scoring up.
Right then.
I think
So
Phil's
back to
longest game of the day
ours.
hasn't played 45 minutes.
Yeah. So then these guys are now speeding up, moving 2 ships at once. Just got the 2 hard focus as you predicted, and then spreading out a little bit. Not quite sure where that top guy's going. I don't know who he shoots, but maybe he's coming around for next turn.
Dom in the chat saying with Dale flying that list is more concerning than Toon 2's alive. Yes, but he massively out-initiatives everything left on the table. Dale has, I think, just killed another drone, so it's now 3 drones versus 2 ships. So even some of initiative score he is massively helped.
So here we've got Tabson coordinating Kylo, as we kind of predicted. Kylo doesn't even want part of the gas cloud, so is, I presume, focus boosting?
There was a lock boost. Yeah, I think it was a lock on that. And then
Oh, lock, okay, fine. And then the
Which
2
again,
turn, as you
right?
say.
Tyson's never doing anything of note again. So
But Alex is turning away, he's got the rear arc.
it's just gonna
Probably
try and
focus
pepper
up
Kylo,
here.
right? Just keep him busy.
I've slightly lost track of whether that's the 1 health guy or not. We'll find out when it blows up.
Freya is at 3 health.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
Dom, you say that Dale jousts with Suntir like a god. I think Paul and I would say Dale jousts with Suntir like a man who has no concept of probabilities. Because it consistently works. Even when it doesn't.
Dale is the most consistent bad X-Wing player I've ever seen. Phil now going around trying to work out how the rest of the 186 have done. Looks pretty happy, so I presume he won.
Yeah, I think Phil's been terrorising people as well for this whole day.
Yeah, well, intentionally keeping Phil off stream just in case an American sees him.
Yeah, anyone that remembers the ETC from 2 years ago, it is the same kind of thing. It's the kind of list where if you haven't seen it before, you're like, what is happening?
Well, this can't be. Oh.
So no Predator for quick draw into the aiming at the bottom, into Zari by the sounds of it. So spends fire control. Sorry, uses
If
fire
you can, if you're enjoying the stream, if you can donate to the guys here running it at Streamlabs, Firestorm Squadron Firecast, and I think just please give them some money so they can buy some sides for their dice tray.
I'm gonna do the link one more time. I felt like you really committed to it, but I'm gonna give it one more go. Streamlabs.com/Firestorm Squadron Firecast/tip.
Beautifully done. Tell you what, if you're really committed, you could type it into the
I
chat.
could type it into the chat.
Again, we've reached that sort of quieter time of the game, getting to the serious end of the tournament here. Everyone's concentrating. We got some firing going on here. So decent hit in there to the A-wing, but lots of paint for Alex. And no damage there.
You got 25 minutes.
Look at that, I did type in the chat. I'm a hero. And also, I think it's worth...
There's some damage going in there. A crit on someone.
One of the aims. Stun
Stun
pilot.
pilot.
Into, I think, Zari. Oh, yeah, since I know
Into
double
Zari.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe it's Zari.
No, that's not Zari. Zari bumped and is at a funny angle. That's Zari. I think that might be Tali.
Yeah, I think it's Tali. So yeah, for Dom's benefit, and presumably Nick and Phil, when they listen back to this, never going to listen back to this. For Dom's benefit, I would like to suggest the use of Bitly, which is a way of making Earls short and memorable.
Earls?
Yeah.
Is that's how the kids say it?
That's how the guy who invented it calls it. It's
Okay,
like chips. I have no
cool.
idea. I've eaten a lot of sugar today. So who's the queen?
So, I think we got a damage there to quick draw because I think that's how he was shooting. I'm just going to pop off and check the damage. Yep.
Paul have absolute confidence in us, in each other. He's gone on to check damage cards. I was like, do take your headphones off before you walk away. And he gave me a look that I can only describe as somewhere between like complete passion and just murderous fury. So 24 minutes left in the round. Alex is still down on points. But Quick Draw, I think, is down to 1 shield. So is 1 damage away from being halved. Obviously, Tali only has 1 health.
I think we got it, boys.
Okay, so I just said Quick Draw is down
Oh
to
yeah.
1 shield. So.
No. You're correct. I thought I'd done
No, I
that,
got it.
but clearly I hadn't.
So yeah, with 23 minutes left, I think Alex still has time to swoop around and kill Tafson if he needs to, but I think in the meantime just keeping pressure on.
Well, he needs to do something, right? Because he's behind on points now.
Yeah, so Tafson is the easy points, but he needs to not let Kylo just mop up in the process.
Yeah. It's. I mean, quick draw, half pointsable as well, and that'll. It's basically really in the balance. Like quick draw is going to give up some points in the next round or two.
The top A-wing, I think, is Greer, right? Which means that he can't easily bring Zari around to get in the way of Kylo.
Zari is this guy here.
Yeah,
I'm pointing at the stream. He's the one at a slightly odd
Zari's
angle.
the leftmost one,
Yeah.
and Greer is the top one.
Yes.
So I think a 2-turn from Zari doesn't fit, but a 1-turn boost might get in the way of Kylo's.
Oh, so you're working out with the initiative whether you can get him out of the way. I understand what you're saying now.
But I wonder if that
So I
leaves
think the
enough
one-
shots.
The one turn might fit. It's going to be
Yeah,
close.
I think a 1-turn boost will fit. But it's dependent entirely on predicting what Kylo's done.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I feel like a 2 or a 3 vector
think-
Kylo is probably right.
Tafton's gone in terms of he's obviously got 2 hard along the board edge here. Clearly up board. Why would you go into the corner? And he's not coordinating for a round or 2. I like this move,
Yeah,
putting
just
pressure on
threatening,
quick draw. Yeah.
absolutely.
I seriously stopped being able to play X-Wing when the ship count goes above 4. Well, I can just about cope with like a 5 swarm if they're all doing the same
Yeah,
thing.
as long as they're in a box,
Yeah.
you're saying 1 dial, then it's fine.
The Kiraxes will point here, and Drea will point in this fake direction.
Yeah, so it's basically a large way ship.
Yeah.
As long as you don't get them too close to each other, it's fine. So Alex is still, it looks like, just playing the range game. So Kylo can come in, but if he's going to, he's going to take a number of shots. But they're all shots, right?
How do the A-Wings get out of here next turn, though? They're all very close to the board edge. I suppose...
I mean, the twos are difficult.
Oh, and it goes again. I think it was probably a bit further forward than that. In fact, almost certain it was a bit further forward than that, but there we are. If he's in coordinate range, this is going to be an unfortunate bump. I mean, it looks like he is now in coordinate range, and I didn't think he was going to be, but anyway, he's focused, so that's probably a very fair play by Martin there. Okay, it's not fair, but Martin, for all we know, is a mean and unfair man.
Zari could potentially go in there and bump, but again, the benefit of bumping a force user is limited, right? Like, yeah, you get to know where it is so you can keep your shots on.
Yeah,
but they
absolutely.
Still have the
yeah, it feels like you've achieved a very hard thing and got very little benefit from it.
So Alex is currently down by 4 points going into 20 minutes left.
We've got concerned 186 faces. Phil looks like a man who is trying to carry an entire team on his shoulders.
Andrew's having a good day as well, yeah. I think that loud clap that came across might have been Zachary Proton topping something off the board.
the only thing louder in the room than Joel is.
It was the sound of somebody's hopes and dreams popping to a Proton top.
Cool. Oh, big hits there. But equally good evade dice. Nice. Skill-based game, ladies and gentlemen. So Alex is shooting somebody at somebody.
So I think this is the shot into Quick Draw.
High,
So he gets to choose
low,
whether
it's
he
got...
wants to.
Ooh.
Quick Draw is going to choose to take the shield, it looks like.
Okay.
Which halves Quick Draw.
And fires back. Cool.
Spends the lot, gets at least one more blank, I think. Rolled into one and evaded by Alex.
So
a costly choice there.
Felt like an aggressive time to take a shield.
Yeah, to get half points.
He's not a range one. Could have maybe got a better. Just please don't make Phil Squadron a thing. I made one mistake. You've got to feel that the Quick Draw would have a better opportunity. And especially with more shots coming in this round, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you keep that shield, it's a deterrent for someone spending the offensive mod.
And Martin Slice consistently making him have to make difficult decisions, so roll 2 focus, doesn't want to spend the force, locks them into nothing. And lots of pain.
I lost track a little bit of who was shooting at who.
Kylo shooting into an A-Wing.
Okay.
But it was, I don't think it took the lock off, but it was...
Oh, so it was the Tali shot into Quick Draw that actually goes first, that makes sense. So we've got 2 dice coming back. Probably we're not going to do anything. There's 1 paint at least. That looks safe. Yep. Again, wowzers the
and this is the way that A-Wings work, right? They just keep blinking, and make your dice just have to keep bailing you out.
Like optics is the key ingredient, right? We played a few games with them when they first came out, and I was super unimpressed. I couldn't see how they were good. There was a lot of sort of talk about time on target. I didn't think that was enough, but I was wrong, but I was wrong because of optics. And it's as soon as people started using optics, you were like, oh, okay, this is why they're good.
And Quick Draw spends to not take another damage. So interesting now, Kylo out of force, so next turn is only going to have the 1. Presumably we'll also have a focus for defense if Martin wants it, or a lock if he's feeling aggressive. Actually, with the Upsilon coming
yeah, he's going to get the coordinate. He's going to be all right, I think. And he's still at a point where he's going to score points in lumps of 20. So Alex at 62, is just over that 20-point threshold.
Depending on which of the A-Wings, right? Some are slightly more expensive.
I mean that the I3 headspace.
So yeah, Zari and Tali both half at 41.
Yep, and
So
Itali
interestingly,
42. So he's 21 for any of the names.
And Alex is 22 points ahead.
Yeah, so that feels important. 16 minutes left.
So, yeah.
Enough rounds of fire though to kill a healthy A-wing or half two.
And I think most of the players, it seems like watching this, are good or very good players and know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So for those guys, not so much, but maybe for the newer players and for the Eagle Squadron guys listening, just paying attention to points is always super useful, right? Martin needs to know that he's 22 points down, and halving an A-wing is not enough. So yeah, always just be aware of your points, exactly where you are. In every
real good advice for the more kind of unconfident squadrons.
Yeah,
Squadrons
absolutely.
that didn't feel that they really had the chops to compete today. We've been doing so well. We were so nice to everybody. We just started taking shots at the chat.
I mean, at some point it has to turn hostile, right?
Yeah. So what have we got here, right? So I think I like Alex's game, like position in the game, slightly better. He can definitely lose points, but
Probably has to start turning his A-wings out.
yeah, I like this turn's going to be slightly tricky because he's maybe not getting that many shots.
Yeah.
But quick draw to kind of be involved risks dying. Quick draw is not particularly tanky. And then again, if you lose the other half of quick draw, then all of a sudden it's another kind of A-wing to catch up because of the way the points are working out. So and Tavson equally, Alex has got enough time to get back round, and Tavson should die the next time he takes a round of fire. If he's got
that reinforced, right?
They're reinforced, right? He needs that three. So yeah, he's probably going to take 2 rounds to die because they're reinforced. Very nicely played game by both players, though.
Yeah, again, right? Like, it's really nicely done there.
Like I think, obviously, Tavson on a rock in that initial engagement, but actually, it was a calculated risk. There was no other good place for him to be, so he needed to kind of be like, right, well, I'll bank in. Hope I get the shot, but if I don't,
like that 5 damage from Tavson, if you got that, massively swings the game.
Yes.
Too,
Oh,
so,
yeah. That's
if you're 50-50 whether it hits the rock, it's probably worth taking. And the fact that if you take the damage, you get the coordinate. It's just
on that ship in particular, it's a safe decision, and because otherwise he's drifting out of the game anyway, and he sort of doesn't get the shots at any point.
So Tavson there failed his coordinate just out of range into Kylo. So Kylo will be single modded.
Yeah. Probably not a huge problem. I doubt that Martin, given the position, was sort of planning for a reposition from Kylo. Alex hiding in that corner, hoping Martin doesn't notice him.
So I think this is sensible with Priya turning out here because, it's Tally, isn't it? But just has the potential to get T-boned by Kylo.
Yeah, and like you want to preserve points, right? You just make it. You kind of put your low health ships in different parts of the board,
cycle them out, absolutely.
And it takes time to get round to and kill them all. But I mean, they are now spread out. Alex is going to struggle to focus fire, and if you're not focus firing, the damage output of this is going to fall off. He's got a couple. He's going to get those. Probably get 3 turning in on Tavson next turn, and that's maybe enough, right? That's maybe enough to kind of get him far ahead enough.
Yeah, it's really close.
So I think the game plan from Alex is really not going to be to worry too much about attacking this turn, and then go in for Tavson next. But I really like that barrel because I think it. You say it's aggressive, but it saves Tavson for next turn, right? It makes it so much harder for that top A-wing to come in to get Tavson next turn. Unless the 3 fits, but if it fits in that gap, bloody hell. Because if he stays where he is, then that A-wing can 2-turn next turn. I mean, the A-wing might be dead. We'll see. If we were better streamers, we'd know how much that A-wing, how much health it had. I have no idea.
So here, Martin has fire control and a predator active. Needs none of it.
He's going to try and keep the focus, which I think is sensible. Ooh, but doesn't pay off. There's 2 paint there, 2 evades. Oof. Alex's evade dice have been showing up in this game, which is part of the list. That's not taking anything away from Alex.
So nothing from Tally, so then Kylo will have a chance to kill what we believe is Greer.
couple of blanks there, so at most 2. He's got the lock. Real on all 3. Spends his last force for 3.
It's better. It's not brilliant, is it?
Oh, I spoke too soon. So 1 evade and takes 2 shields.
I assume that was Zari then.
And that's more points.
So Alex currently ahead by 1 point with 11 minutes to go.
It looks like no damage there. Not sure what shot that was. Okay, that was the range 2 into crit draw by those things. That's 1 hit and 1 evade.
So Kylo's lock should have come off there, but other than that, I think we're good.
Oof, this is going to be close. Just wary of similar mistakes to last round. I'm going to go and have a double check on the health of everything.
Take a photo of it to compare my pieces. Take a photo. So just because the 186 games are closest, obviously we have Alex on stream. So it looks like Andrew and Phil both won. Alex obviously is close, currently up by 1 point. And Joel is playing Lee Rossi from 1066, and that one looks like Lee is probably slightly in the ascendancy. Looks like Joel has halved 2 of the 3 ships, but has lost Obi-Wan. Still has Anakin and Rick running around against the generic resistance transport, and against Poe and I think it was Neil. Thank you, Stream Chat, that the Go Team Phil messages are still going.
So I think probably this turn, but we missed Kylo taking 2 damage at some stage, so he is 1 off half, which is not insignificant.
So actually in that situation I really like the 2 forward from Zari, just to block all of Kylo's defensive options.
And we are correct on Alex. He's still got the wounded pilot, stunned pilot
Right, yeah, which is
on
this one on Tally, right?
Yeah.
Tally is at the bottom of the screen in front of the dice camera, fully disengaged now of the fight.
8 minutes. Nice.
Charlie attempting to hide behind the dice cam, so Kylo's stressed.
Which is why I didn't like that barrel roll. I think. Yes,
Yeah,
it
no,
takes a shot away from
that's
the
fair.
A-wing, but it
That's
limits
fair.
the choices,
Yeah,
so.
no, okay, that's fair. So, I don't know that you can block the 2 hard left from Kylo. I feel like the 2 straight goes too far, or maybe not.
I don't think so. I think it just about is going to get in the way.
So he's going to end up.
Obviously, we don't have a perfect angle, but
Yeah. I mean, if it does block the 2 hard, I think you 2 straight and focus. That leaves that guy vulnerable from quick draw, but I think he's going to be vulnerable from quick draw wherever he is. You 2 hard.
and if you tie quick draw and Kylo up in that corner, while the rest of your A-wings.
Oh yeah. So I think he comes in. I think you 1 hard the A-wing in the centre of the board up, or 2 hard up to either fire at Kylo if he's bumped, or pressure quick draw. The only problem with that is the kind of double tap from quick draw. You can start handing out a lot of. No, the front out, back out, because then he can start to put out a lot more damage than you would expect.
Again, a commonly forgotten ability that's coming to 2.0, as I just forgot right there.
So the other option with the guy in the center, the aiming in the centre of the board, is just to go and get that third shot onto the Upsilon to try and take it out of the game.
Yeah,
now you're not going to PS kill the Upsilon. There's going to be any problem.
Like a 2-bank focus boost around, right?
Yeah.
2-bank left, focus boost right.
I think the guy at the edge of the board, right? I like the kind of 4 straight forwards, boost into the side of the Upsilon. 4 straight forwards or the 5 straight forwards.
Yeah.
5 like risks over committing, and if he goes really fast, you miss him. So I like the 4 straight forwards.
I think if you do, that's not a problem because next time you shoot forward focus rotate.
But like 4 straight forwards boost, you may well end up at range 1. Then you're threatening putting 2 damage in rather than just the 1. Obviously, you're too hard with the other guy facing into the corner. There's nothing else he can do. I'm not sure the PS order in them. You got to hope that.
I think the one on top is the initiative one.
Okay.
And I think that one's the fully healthy blue squadron.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that with confidence, despite not knowing.
So those two are kind of obvious. We think we're playing for the block on Kylo, and
just hope.
And Tarly's just peeling around, right?
So for Martin, what are his choices? I think a 3-bank right, disengage, chase after Tally is a viable option. Tally's the easiest point of
with
Kylo.
With Kylo, the only problem with 3 banks aren't blue. So I wonder if you too hard right rather than the left to punish the guy who's coming in to push you. You know.
So we do have a 5 forward from the blue squadron, which actually, having now done that, looks pretty good.
I wonder if that's a bit too far.
It might even sneak into the side arc, depending on how aggressive Tarly's going.
Oh, and the boost forwards. Okay. Alex been a lot more cautious.
Don't like any of it. Of course, it will all work out now, and Alex will look like a genius.
Yeah. I suppose moving first, you've got to be slightly worried about that Upsilon. But I really like the boost in there. And I mean, this is all, as I say, chat, this is very easy to sit here and criticise when there's nothing on the line for us.
And again, like, we've not seen what everyone else is doing.
Yeah,
We're like,
absolutely. Yeah, what an idiot. Right, and here, like the boosting is still better, but you can see what he was worried about. Yeah, not getting a shot here on the Upsilon's really upsetting. But he's got the shot from the other guy.
Andrew, you may have picked up that I'm putting the words to the thought that everyone was having.
Right. Are you criticising the lack of bank boost? Yeah. Where
We were doing it, but we were doing it politely. It's okay, Alex. When you watch this back, Andrew still loves you.
Alex now in the unenviable position in a team championship that half his team has finished and is now watching him.
Everyone's sitting, watching, judging everything he does. It's fine. It's not like
he's got 2 shots on here, and actually the Upsilon's been aggressive, and I don't think it took a target lock. So that could end up being a mistake, right? Because he risked losing the Upsilon.
He'll take 2 potentially reinforced focus, but the reinforced is going to be useless, right?
Cheaty.
The first one is
yeah, if he takes 2 from the first one, then the reinforce is pointless. Yeah. If he takes 1, it's amazing. Yeah. Meanwhile, he has played for the block on Kylo.
So with 3 minutes left, you might just get one more round.
Yeah, I think so. Depends how long these final 2 ships take to move.
They are debating whether Kylo should have 2 force. I believe he should. But I'm not certain.
Pass. They've decided maybe. If he now turns in and bumps and can't do anything. Okay, he's gone. That I think is a sensible play, because I think going anywhere else and he's blocked.
So you boost forward to get a shot, right? But
he can target lock into boost. Wow, that is a trusting target lock. That looks right on the edge of range. I think I would definitely measured that. Yeah.
Never let it slide, so we're going to say it's in.
Oh, it was in, right? That's what's happened in the game. That's fine. Yeah. And then quick draw coming up for the kill shot.
Zari has 2 health.
Zari has 2 health. If he doesn't kill, it's a risky position to be in. If he doesn't kill him, takes that 3 dice shot back.
He's unlikely to take 3 damage in return, though, because
unlikely, right? But if they get another turn in, every little damage.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So looks like 2 and a focus. Re-rolling the focus for 3. Okay. No idea. Didn't look like a lot. I think that's dead. Oh no. Think about spending the focus. So just dead.
One evade, I think.
Just very, very dead. Okay.
That is Zari out of the game. Which swings it back in Martin's favour. Again, 1 minute left.
Oof. Don't know that they're going to get the second rounder here. So it's all about. Oh wow. Okay. So he spends to try and half quick. Does not. Did he need to do that?
Kylo into tally. Spends for 3.
Oh, this
Heroic
is.
roll from tally. I think that was heroic into 3.
No way. Well, that is heroic. We'll give it that. I don't know that he needed to go so aggressive as to spend the focus on attack, but.
Halved Kylo.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but I don't think he was likely to, and I think you're better off.
Martin at the table had just realised what happened, that he'd re-roll it. He thought he'd murdered Tally. And had seen Alex re-roll it, hadn't any idea what was going on, and then saw heroic.
So that's 2. So if he takes 2 here, well, that's 1 blank. Ooh, this might just have gone wrong for Martin. So I think that's exactly what we're talking about. I think that the Upsilon has taken 2 from that first attack. Reinforces useless. So takes the focus, tries to murderize that last A-wing.
The 4 health blue squadron. And that is time called on the round. So these final 3 shots will be. Final 2 shots. Will
so jams the focus away. I like it. That's a sensible play.
So taps in range 1. Target lock focus.
Doesn't look bad.
A bunch of paint. I think that is 5 hits and crits in some combination.
1 is not enough. No, I think that was not a full health A-wing. So that's a blue squadron, so that's presumably the hurt blue squadron.
I think it was no, it's the other one, I think.
But he's just dealt out like 5 damage cards. Oh, and out of arc. Wow, that's game. Well, well played to both players. That's incredibly tight. Lost it on the final turn there. Yeah, incredibly well played by both players. And that's it. So that's time. We're going to mute the mics.
If Tally had halved Kylo, they would have final salvos.
Nice. So yeah, like again, another strong game. Actually, the boost in there, we were saying Alex should have done, wouldn't have made a difference because he was dead before he took a shot.
Yeah. I've got the bump, which in hindsight would have been better.
Oh yeah, the bump would have been huge, but I don't think he did. I think he had room to 1 bank in and so that. And actually, the 1 bank was an incredibly good move. You know, he called that 5 straight perfectly. And without that A-wing, that's 20 less points. It's very, very close.
Yeah, absolutely. So I believe that is 5 rounds done today.
Yep.
So we have 1 round to go. We'll have a look at final scores and we'll try and put on stream 2 teams that are still both in it. If we can't find that because of pairings, we'll try and put on a squadron that hasn't been in play yet. If there is, again, anything specific you want to see, if there are any specific ships or factions or players, let us know and we'll see what we can do.
Cool. And so we'll see you in a sec. We'll leave the stream up because it's slightly more interesting than looking at the stream starts soon sign, but we're going to mute the mics. And we are back. Pairings continuing to be a struggle, but we've got there. So, as you can see in the chat, we have a close run thing between the top 3 squads. 186th on 16 points, 1066 on 15 points, TNX on 15 points. All 3 squads, I believe, still have a bounty that will be played this round. So all have a potential in one match to score 2 points. So they're in the box seats. But Dead Squadron, Meeple Squadron, and Zombie Squadron all have a chance. And even Firestorm Squadron could squeak in if all the results go their way. As a result, we've been able to get, for a final matchup, TNX versus Nomad Squadron. So we've shown you all the squads that are playing here today. TNX are one of the guys in it to win it, and it just so happens that it's Demetrius who's the guy who's run the entire tournament with the help of the rest of us. It's his idea, so it seemed like an appropriate way to finish it. So we're just going to enter the lists now, and then we'll get you going. Just getting everyone set up and then waiting for the Phantom Menaces to be played. So for the final time today, there are 2 special rules for the tournament. Each team has 1 bounty they can play per round. Maximum, each player can play 1 for the day. And as I mentioned earlier, that gives you 2 points should you win rather than just the 1. And then once per day, a team can play a Phantom Menace card, which basically means they can pick 2 of their matchups and change them. All day, and particularly in this final round, those Phantom Menaces are played at the same time. So if you want to swap out of your match, your opponent might try and do the same thing at the same time. There's either someone's misjudged that, or maybe a bit of bluff where someone realises the matchup is so strong that their opponent is likely to swap out of it. So I can see a huddler the 186th at the moment. They've got Andrew playing his wild card, and so I think their plan is to pair him into the easiest match that they can get. Hope that he takes that 2 points for that win, and the other guys can come through with enough points. They started the day really strong, but have been kind of stumbling over the last few rounds and are trying to eke it out to the line. 1066 and TNX. I think 1066 may have already used their Phantom Menace card, and I'm not sure about TNX. But everyone suddenly taking this seriously. A lot of tactical chat going on. Probably only for everybody to play their cards at the same time and it just to be chaos. So everyone's coming down now. So Andrew Patterson handing in a bounty, but doesn't look like a Phantom Menace. So no Phantom Menace from 186, so they're obviously relatively happy with their matchups. I'll give you the news of the other top guys as they come in. Someone can post in chat to convince me we're still talking to someone, that'd be lovely. So, got our players here. Stephen is 2 and 3 so far, and Dimitri is 4 and 1. So, both with reasonable records. And should hopefully be a good match. We've got a nice dodgy ace list versus a swarm. Lloyd is upset because I'm not turning his mic back on. And here we go.
And I'm back. So, yeah, Stephen has 2 wins today, but they were in the last 2 rounds. So it looks like the Jedi are his stronger of those 2 lists.
Nice. So, yeah, the players had the opportunity to swap from an extended list to a hyperspace list halfway through the day. A lot of people sticking with the same list all day, but Stephen's obviously one of those who changed, and it's paid dividends for him.
Just worth noting, just because I can, the player names are the wrong way round.
Which we are not going to fix. That is.
I'll tell you what, if we can donate 25 quid this round, I will figure out how to swap the names over. The link is streamlabs.com/Firestorm/Firecast/tip. If £25 is donated this round, I guarantee you I will figure out how to swap the words.
So I know Simran's good for £25 on his own, so that should be done in a heartbeat. Sim donating all 25 on his own. I know he's good for it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Right?
Those Eagle Squadron club fees have got to go somewhere, right? We are sadly missing Sim. I'm glad he was on the chat joining us. I think that's the only negative about today is that Eagle aren't here joining in. That would have been sort of completed the group in terms of the Southeast Squadrons. These guys setting up rocks.
So again, just in terms of looking at points, so there is 1 point separating the top 3 teams, but genuinely, with big swings of results, 7 of the teams are eligible.
Yeah, I reckon anyone down to Firestorm could do it. So, rocks-wise, it looks like Stephen's done quite a nice job of keeping them clustered. I've not seen Dimitri play this, but I know when he played the Azatux, he used to like keeping them in a block.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
very much put them in a box of 4.
Yeah, so if he plays this similarly, then I like the rock setup from Stephen's point of view.
Yeah, it's going to make it harder for the SFs to get into this they want. Worth remembering, cluster missiles are only range 1 to 2, so I think the way for Stephen to win this is keep staying at range, keep linking shots in and getting damage in.
Yeah, definitely slow and steady. 2 agility, they will take damage at range 3. So we've got a 2 Jedi, 1 Torrent.
Dimitri set his ship up back to front with the arc facing the back.
Nice. That's that is the pro strat. I played in a regional final here and was asked like 4 times by Simeon if I was happy with the setup of my ships, and I was like, yep, this is completely fine. Before he kindly pointed out to me that Miranda was set up to fly off the board.
Yeah. Ship had spun, so he's put the base down back across.
So that could have been horrendous.
And yeah, I've not seen Simeon much lately at X-Wing tournaments, or well, I've not seen many of them all, so I've not been at tournaments. But it'd be nice to know if they can make it down next year as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think maybe the thing to do, like, it's been a real success, but possibly pick somewhere kind of Midlandsy. I'd have to this is very much Dimitri's thing. We're just here
absolutely
enjoying ourselves, but.
And yeah, Warbow have been really good. Like we've taken out the top.
Oh well, yeah, Warbow have been absolutely fantastic.
Quite a huge number of tables and everything. Table services. It's a really nice venue. It is licensed, which is almost always popular with people. So yeah, it's a really good venue.
So we're getting going here. Turn away from the Torrent. Unsurprisingly, doesn't want to take on the whole swarm itself. And quite a quick start from Dimitri there. Probably wants to get up and find a lane through those rocks, something to approach through.
Yeah, I wonder what he'll do from here. I wonder if he will try and just 2-turn in and just give himself so much of the board space to control and come down through.
Yeah, the dial
on the SFs is better than you expect, right? It's almost better than you remember.
Yeah, I don't think there's a good diagonal route through for the whole squad here, so I think I'd be tempted next turn to like 3 straight or 2 straight, probably 3 straight again, and then hard them all in the turn after that to head through the gap between those 2 rocks in the middle of the board. I think I like that a little bit more than the banking. Or maybe turn this turn and stay on the top half of the board and wait for the Jedi to come to him. I think both are a reasonable plan. I'm just going to turn your mic up a little bit because I'm struggling to hear it, so I wonder if everyone else is.
It's okay, you're not missing anything.
So this, obviously there's a few different Jedi builds around. This one, you kind of trade that 3rd ship down to the V19 to get Delta 7 on both. You should be a bit more careful with them. The Delta 7s, although they've got the 2 more health, they feel more vulnerable than the 3 agility.
You're no longer relying so much on that variance, but you are relying on not taking shots. Right?
Absolutely.
The shots will always consistently go through.
Yeah, whereas you can put one of the 3 agility guys in a slightly bad place, cross your fingers, you might be okay.
Absolutely.
If you put one of these in a bad spot, they're going to take the damage. And I think we mentioned it earlier today, although they've got the regen, and it's definitely very strong, with only 2 big guns in the list, having to fly one of them off for a couple of rounds to regen is
a lot of rounds
puts you behind. So asked if the round had started. I assume that they guessed it had, seeing as they've started moving ships.
So I'm interested that Stephen has turned everything toward. I wonder if he wasn't expecting that fast opening from Dimitri.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem. I mean, the one hard barrel roll, they can still almost whatever he did this first turn. He wasn't going to overcommit them too much.
Committed to too much.
Yeah.
So he can always one turn barrel roll away. Question chat: is anyone running precognitive reflexes Jedi today? I think the closest I've seen to that is Dale was running a precog Vader. Does that count?
I mean, he used to be a Jedi. So
precog Vader and advanced sensors
Ryad, which is what he was running for the first half of the tournament. Went 3-0 with it. I think. I'm unsure of the point of telling anybody how Dale's games went, but Dale found that Vader blew up, and then he finished the game with Ryad. But God knows how he was playing, what he was doing, what the dice were up to. So
Dale plays a different game.
Take that with a pinch of salt. But yeah, I think it depends on the type of the list. Precog is very strong for Vader because it gives him that boost that he would otherwise be really reticent to take.
Absolutely.
I think I think it's just the points. I think for the Jedi it's fine. So I don't know if I mentioned earlier, I'm flying a 2-ship Annie Rick build at the moment, and Annie with Supernatural. And in that build, I think you need Supernatural, right? You can't really do much with the points anyway.
I mean, stupid clarification, but of the 3 Annies that are now in the list in the faction,
the good
actually
Anakin,
4, right?
good
CRT.
Anakin.
Yeah, the good Anakin.
So Delta 7B in the Jedi Starfighter, and in that you want the ability to position before and after you move. So I think there's still a very limited place for Supernatural. I think that is on 2-ship Super Ace builds, and I think is incredible on the Inquisitors, which is not news to anybody.
Once you can, it's something like 8 points or 10 points on them, isn't it? Yeah. And that ability to just kind of crab roll around the board, take double marks.
There was
potentially take double marks if you don't want to.
A list which we couldn't get on stream because we've been trying to get all of the. This game we can try and give you a relevant game, but also get Nomad in because it's their first time on stream today. But there is a 2 Supernatural Inquisitor and Vessery list floating around, which sounds. I was surprised it fit. That sounds horrific. Like none of those ships take damage.
Classic Imperial Aces, isn't it? You put 3 things together and you're like, how does that fit?
Yeah. Like the massive Imperial discount that FFG seems to apply to everything is strong in that list.
So your first shot is a range 3 through a rock. Let's pop dice cam
We
back
have
up.
not turned the dice cam on.
To see that, the Torrent is fine.
So Torrent rolls 2 evades. Doesn't take any damage. Torrent is at risk of being caught here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think it's a disaster if you lose the Torrent in this game.
No, it's not.
But you want to gain something for it positionally. So let's have a think about this. So that.
And the Torrent doesn't have a 3 hard, right? So it's not going to get up into space.
No.
It can 2 hard in. So whether we think
I don't think it gets you the bump, and I think I don't think that 3 dice attack is worth it just playing up for. I mean, if you don't think you can get away at all, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
And that maybe is the way to go. I think the thing that saves you a little bit is that back row. I think he has to go straight with the Swarm here. That back row can't bank in. Which means that
it depends whether he wants to break them apart.
But
and to be fair, if you use half a Torrent to break apart the formation, that's
absolutely. So I think this is why. So we were talking earlier on about why we don't like gas clouds. So that rock being there for the ace player, who you might think, they want the gas clouds. Jedi can boost through them. They can their extra evade is amazing for them. But actually here. I think it's a relatively safe turn to turn. I think that's Obi-Wan, who's the further inboard Jedi. The 2 hard in here, the 2 hard in here around that rock is relatively safe. Like the front row of Dimitri's list can 3 bank, and that would threaten it. But you're still only going to take a couple of shots, and I don't think they're likely to do that because it doesn't give the back row many places to go.
It separates them out. Even if he does do it, it's going to be a range 3 dice against Anakin, and Anakin is getting better shots back.
So you think that's Anakin, do you? Okay, whoever that that
Yeah, so I
Jedi
think
is.
the main issue that Stephen might get here is, his turret is a little bit of danger of being caught, but I think again it just evades.
Oh, so
Obi-Wan
interesting.
actually has fewer choices
I
because of
want-
where Anakin's boost taken.
So what you could have done here with the torrent is do that move, or maybe even the 3-bank. I don't know if the 3-bank is red. Find out. But if he'd focused, then he could have up to 3 focus if you're willing to burn Obi-Wan's ability.
The 3-bank is red, so that would limit his options.
Yeah.
But
So 2-bank, fair enough, but we'll have to see where what the plan for Obi-Wan is. But if Obi-Wan ends up close, I'd have preferred to see the focus there, so that you can get that 3 focus. Because if you waste an entire round of firing and the torrent is not dead, then that gives Dimitri a difficult choice this round in terms of what to go for. Does he go to finish off that torrent in the corner? That sounds like a bad idea. If not, the torrent can talon roll, and then it can start coming around and getting shots.
Yes, absolutely. Because actually, again, assuming the torrent's well, as you said, and that probably is the better way to do it.
Yeah.
But here, if he has to turn Anakin in, all of those SFs are going to be
Yeah,
turning him
I mean,
next time.
the 2 hard here is beautiful for Anakin, and he can even...
It's beautiful this time, but I think it's awful next time.
Well, I don't know. So I think...
So that looks like out of range. Might take 1 from the top one.
Yeah, and probably won't, because you probably want to focus the V19 here. So I wonder whether the 2 hard... I don't know whether you're going to do it, but I wonder if you do 2 hard... No, it's irrelevant now. I wonder if you had 2 harded, whether the boost forward gives you the turn out through the middle 2 rocks, and that's kind of what I'd have been looking to do, I think. But this way, actually, not bad, because the turn in next turn... the turn in next turn is tricky, because if they all 2 hard, yeah.
If they all 2 hard and don't barrel roll, which they're unlikely to because of their passive sensors, you have got the option to get into that flank.
Absolutely. So this is where, I mean, easy to say from sitting here under no pressure. We haven't played 5 rounds of X-Wing today, but if he had the focus, then then actually you've got a decent chance of surviving this round. You're with 3 focuses, and at that point, with the torrent still alive, I mean, he may survive anyway. With the torrent still alive, you present a problem, because then you talon roll. If Dimitri goes the other way, then the torrent gets in behind him, and with only 2 agility, that torrent is going to chip these things down.
Whereas, as we're at the moment, so the torrent spends the evade on the first attack, and is taking what looks to be 4 more shots. And all of these are going to be locked because of passive sensors. So just a reminder in terms of how close everything is. So TNX are currently 1 point off the lead. So for TNX, for about half the squadrons here, every win in this final round is crucial. We do have bounties coming in this round as well, but these are obviously bounties people have kept to the final round. So
that's some damage going into the V19. I think that's 2.
And talking of bounties, Stephen actually played his bounty on this round.
Stephen did, okay. That's 2 damage into the V19. Now this isn't as disastrous as we said. Like the V19, it would have been nice to get a bit more out of it, but if it does die this turn, then it was never going to be the make or break factor in the list. And actually,
you trade it for a bit of position, and maybe the position given Anakin is not terrible.
Yeah, I worry about the 2 hard from all of them. I think it's hard. I think it's a bit hard for Anakin and Obi-Wan to come in this turn.
So this is a cluster missile coming in, just to get the extra die.
It looks like
it takes 2 into the turret. Turret is down to 1.
There's potentially a crit there. So 1 and the crit is not direct. That is the information we were able to give you. We can tell you about if it's direct, if it's the stressy one.
Yeah, we can usually
that
tell
is
if it's
it.
panic pilot.
Yeah.
And if it does something stupid next turn, it was probably a loose stabilizer.
Yes. You got to calculate for some reason. Anyone?
Passive sensors, you may take a lock or calculate.
Oh, okay.
So if you already have a lock,
I
bonus mods.
had not read the lists.
So 2 hits here and the turret will die.
Yeah, the torrent is... So, maths here with a single mod. I mean, who cares about maths? Maths says you should re-roll everything there. If you have a single ability, if ability to mod a single focus taken, then re-roll all the focuses, and you've got a better chance of getting max hits.
It's the old rack rules.
Yeah, although I mean, obviously, the potential downside is you lose a guaranteed hit,
Yeah, absolutely.
which in that situation may have been enough. So I don't hate it as a decision, but I feel like not a lot of people kind of know that bit. You see a lot of people keeping the focus and re-rolling the one dice. So that's a dead torrent.
That is a dead torrent.
Unfortunately, no amount of clicking its name is going to bring us back.
Yeah,
Stream joke there for you.
Yeah.
It's a callback. Anybody really who's putting the time to the stream today is going to be groaning at that joke.
Yeah, if you've watched all 6 rounds today, you've really got to wonder what you're doing with your life.
Yes, yeah, you got to ask yourself some serious questions.
It's been some really good X-Wing. We've seen a lot of good players. It's been playing the right spirit. But to listen to us sit and talk to you for 8+ hours,
I mean, I'm struggling. Yeah, I agree, Black One. A very good engagement, and I don't think there's a safe engage this turn either for the Jedi. Maybe the hard turn in was the play there, but I think you have a similar outcome. I think very easy to say in hindsight, but I think that the missed trick was the too hard in from Annie. Ooh, that is a lot. Presumably the back guy is now banking.
Dimitri's facing away from us, so I can't look at his face whether his hands
Is that a perfect or god? Well, we're about to find out. Oh, he's changing templates. How does is he? Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, fair enough. Turns out Dimitri not terrible at X-Wing. Maybe not good, but not terrible.
And again, Dimitri's not necessarily a particularly famous player, right? But again,
incredibly solid.
4 or 8 Euros a couple of years ago. Was
yeah.
System Open a couple of years ago. The one that Martin Chivers won, I think.
I mean, quite easy system opener. Right?
Probably the easiest system.
Yeah, no, incredibly solid player. This is exactly his type of list. Just kind of, I think it's
beefy, it's solid.
Yeah. I think in general you can split X-Wing players, most of them, into people who like to move first and make the traps, or people who like to move second and get out of them. Dimitri definitely in that first group. He's awesome with this kind of lots of arcs.
Is the kind of thing we do as well, right?
Yeah,
so it's a lot of that. Yeah, building
sets the trap.
Kill boxes.
And they are really different skills. I know if I play a list that moves second, I spend the entire time terrified about getting bumped.
Yeah.
I find it really difficult to kind of bring things in, arc dodge. Much happier with it being the bully and the list that's moving around and the one that your opponent has to deal with. Kind of a middling move there from Obi-Wan. And a boost to get a bit of range.
So yeah, it just needs to get out from it, right? Because
I presume these guys have all just not advanced sensors, whatever it is, passive sensors. And it just gives this kind of list that huge amount of flexibility, right? You don't need to guess what's going to be in your arc, you just wait and find out.
The chat is also questioning what we're doing with our lives. A valid question.
I am trying to have as much fun as I can before my wife gives birth and I can't have any fun ever again.
I'm trying to have as much fun as I can before the paternity test. I'm so glad she's never listened to this.
There are friends of mine that I'd have been worried about, but
can I tell the Facebook story?
Roz can do better. What's the Facebook story?
So the Facebook story is we used to go for like double date dinners with Paul, Roz, and I, and I think
and your girlfriend.
And yeah.
Otherwise, that's weird.
It is weird. And we done it, I think, maybe 4 or 5 times, and I was like, I should really add Roz on Facebook, and couldn't because I don't have any mutual friends with her because you're not friends with her on Facebook.
Yep.
And so I said this to her, thinking I should be like, okay, fine, I'll add you. So I said, oh, Roz, I can't add you on Facebook because we don't have any mutual friends. And her response was, yeah. Which I feel like gave me all of the information I needed.
I think I would say she's an excellent judge of character, apart from
yeah,
clearly she isn't, right?
So you were right, Anakin's 210 does get in core.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't play Anakin.
That's why I don't normally fly Anakin either.
Yeah,
this is
Anakin spends 1 force to get away with it.
I ran a variation of this list a fair bit towards the start of the year, And I think it's a good list. And obviously, Ashok Hemmings did really well, got to the final of Euros with a very, very similar list, if not exactly the same. But I found I just got Anakin blown up game after game after game.
Anakin gets away with it. That was Anakin's shot. So one of the SFs took 1 shield. So now just a round of seeing how much Stephen can weather and whether that allows him to get into the side again of the SFs. Looks like blanks for Anakin. I think there's going to be at least 2 shields.
3 shields. And that is my experience of Anakin. Put him in the wrong place and be unhappy.
Yeah, best ship in the game, but he really doesn't like it when you let people fire.
Yes, yeah. Unless something's firing at him, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh, hot fire from Dimitri.
Yeah.
Strip shields.
That is an oh Christ.
Is that 3
That is
crits?
Anakin taking a crit at least. This may be over pretty quickly.
So Spence Force takes, looks like 1 crit.
And that is
very shiny.
bright white. It's a blank crit.
It's a blank
Nothing happens. That is not double damage
It's
and not panic powder.
Correct. You are welcome, Stream Chat.
Oh, is this into Annie as well? Oh, blimey. Okay, you can kind of get away with this. It's 1 paint's taking 1 more.
So Annie is down to 1. I really hope he does not have a loose stabilizer.
Annie is halved even if he regens.
In return for currently 1 shield in TSF. And this is, again, not critical. This is the kind of thing Dimitri's really good at, right? He's really blocking.
Oh yeah, and it's. I don't think there are any mistakes, or I think there was a bump from Stephen which wasn't really consequential though. You know, he could have taken the focus rather than evade, but that may or may not have paid off. I don't think there's anything like I would have 2-harded in, but if he did free bank the entire first round, that the row of those SFs at the time, that'd have been a disaster. So it's just.
And again, it's tiny margins, right? Like
Yeah, that kind of 50-50 decision.
The Gold Squadron slightly further away. Obviously, he was doing it first.
Yeah.
So again, limited options, right? He has to be able to react to the 2 things Dimitri does.
Yeah,
Dimitri
absolutely.
places the ships wherever he wants, and then has.
Dimitri so far has played this pretty flawlessly. So again, here there is no safe turn in for either of these ships. Anakin cannot hard 1 in.
Absolutely.
It would be madness, right? It's easily blockable. He's got no health left.
And I feel like the back 3 SFs can very easily. The one that just received a dial, 1 banks. The one immediately in front of it, probably also 1 banks. The one before just does a 1 red turn and blocks off all of Anakin's turn in.
Yeah. Meanwhile, your guy down at the bottom there is 3 harding to put pressure on
And so
Obi-Wan.
Anakin has to turn away, and if he does, he's taking 1, 2, or 3 shots.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of think as a result, maybe you have to turn Obi-Wan in here. I don't love it. It's in trouble, but I don't know how realistic it is to win the game if you don't start taking shots.
Yeah, Dimitri's managed to get Stephen turned around, and at the moment, Stephen doesn't have a way of turning him back in and getting those good shots.
Do you think the sloop fits from Annie? I think it might.
I think it might. It's probably, again, if he has.
I don't know what it gets you, right? If you sleep and something's in your bullseye, wonderful. You barrel roll and you're okay.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then it's game over. So
So
these guys were expecting to go for Obi-Wan, and now that's a lovely move. That if he does do the 1 hard in, which I'd have considered, that's blocked. This guy's presumably going to 3 hard round the corner.
Passive sensors. And passive sensors is one of those cards, isn't it? Like, I think when it came out, everyone looked at it and said, it's going to be good, it's going to bring generics into the game. And, I mean, I can see 3 or 4 tables in front of me. I can see what appears to be 10 SFs.
Yeah, and I bet they've
And
all
they're
got it
all
on
running
them.
passive
Yeah.
sensors, because Andrew Patterson's running a bunch
So
as well.
Dimitri there with a 3 bank, which makes me think he wasn't confident the 3 hard would fit, and he was on the table. I'm sure he's correct.
Also, in terms of just keeping his arcs wide, right?
Yes, yeah. And I wonder if these guys turn in, or wonder if he just decides Anakin is not coming in and he just goes all out for Obi-Wan. No. So yeah, as you said, the one hard there doesn't really matter if it bumps because he's stressful anyway. Very nice play from Dimitri here. Difficult to see what else Stephen could have done. Apart from maybe disengage harder, like accept, okay, I've lost the V19, I need to just pull them about. I need to pull them about until hopefully Dimitri gets them out.
Having said that, I would have done the exact same thing he did in this situation.
I think it doesn't matter what we'd have done. As I say, we're not playing the game, but I think I may. Oh, that's a nice move. That's much better than my one hard.
Yeah, so keeping Obi involved,
but still taking fire, right? Both of those have got their passive up. Although the guy who barrel rolls you can't link into passive. No.
It looks like he might be sleeping.
Yeah, so I quite like this, right? Because he's got always regenning. Okay, I think I'd have left it, right? Oh, it's the 2 bank. Okay, that's why. And then the barrel roll away. So you can now barrel down.
And just action barrel roll because save the force.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you could potentially try and grab the lock, but I think the force boost also works.
And again, just remind me for, I suppose, everyone's benefit, the SFs can fire their missiles out of their rear arc, right? So when they're passive sensors,
yeah, so they passive.
Take the lock and rotate.
Yeah, take the lock, rotate, and then light them up.
So having nearly got most of the way behind them doesn't solve the problem.
No, you need to be in their side arc.
So that was Obi-Wan.
So that's Obi-Wan spending,
like
getting aggressive. I think he kind of needs to. Looks like 2 focuses there, no tokens. This is the downside of passive. I think it is a real downside, not having that token there. Yeah. So he's taking all of them. So that's half points. Is it just the 1? I thought he rolled 3.
Oh no, it's this one.
Sorry. Yeah,
I'm definitely keeping track of which is which.
But now Obi has to really tank this for Stephen to any chance, you think.
So it looks like
there's 2 hits. Oof, that is not a good start.
And this is the Delta 7 thing, right? Just not helping you out when you need it.
Yeah, like you take more than one shot a round and you're in big trouble.
So yeah, looked really good. Anakin got out, regened up a little bit.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan has only 2 shots coming in, the first one.
But now the healthy bit of your list's on fire, right? Yeah, I think with hindsight, the only thing that Stephen could have done after losing the V19 was to run away harder and hope, because on that turn, Dimitri did start to break them up a bit to chase.
I think it was nothing but Dimitri, but Stephen double blanks again anyway.
Well, did ease that damage going down? We got 1 shield left over here, but damage. That's a regen shield. So yeah, you got a damage card on him. Yeah, Stephen's dice really not helping out here. Yeah, I think, as I was saying, I think the only play might have been if he disengaged harder that turn, then he's at least split them up a little bit, and then flies around for a few turns trying to get back in.
I think Stephen's in a decent place. He's just taking too much damage in the process. So again, really good for TNX in terms of winning overall. They're looking pretty strong in this one. They're only a few points behind overall. 1 point behind overall going to the final round.
So obviously really crucial how the rest of the games do this. Dimitri, I think, had already spent his bounty, so this is only 1 point for them.
I believe so.
We'll try and go on a quick scout round and keep you guys posted on what's going on.
I'll go have a wander around and try and give you some updates.
Yeah. So you've just got me for a couple of minutes, and I'll try my best to keep an eye on what's going on. So from here, Annie, I think, Annie again doesn't really have a nice safe move in. You've got to think that SF that's facing into the top left corner of the board is going to too hard to chase Annie. So the 1 hard in is a risk. But it's probably the only thing you'll get shot by, because the other SFs are going to have to bank out around that rock. Obi-Wan's in a spot of bother because the rear arcs are going to come into play here. And as we said, with passive, he doesn't need to make that decision at the start. He can wait and have perfect information. So, oof. I don't know what I'd do if I'm over here. I think I'm stressed as well. I think I maybe 3 straight and start. Oh, yeah, I have no idea. I do not know what to do. Dale walking up. Dale, is that a win? That's a 200-0 for Dale. And was that with your bounty or is that already gone? So that's a point for 1066 Squadron. Just let me know in chat if you can hear me, because I've just lost myself in my headphones.
There are a lot of games to update you on, so let's just have a quick run through. So, I had a quick look at Joel from 106 playing Zachary from Meeple. So both teams are still in it, but obviously looking pretty tight. Zachary's looking up on that. Joel has taken a whole damage into Recollier, but has regen the shield back up. Zachary didn't look like he had too much damage on his list. Where else to look at? Dale has won his game.
Yep, he's just been interposted.
Andrew is playing, Andrew from 106 is flying SFs against 2 fire sprays, and it looks like that is a very cagey game. It doesn't look like any damage at all has happened. Phil from 106 is playing against Michael from Chaos. Chaos, we think, are probably out of it at 10 points. Phil has killed 1 Inquisitor, halved 2 Inquisitors against a 4 Inquisitor list. Has lost Fen in the process, though, so Guri is against 1 and 2 half Inquisitors.
And is there a Lambda with that list, or is it just the Inquisitors?
I believe it was just Inquisitors.
Oh, wow, okay.
If there was a Lambda, I missed that. I have a blind spot.
Okay.
I'm going to have a wander around a few more and come back and let you know.
So, sounding like the teams at the top are winning at the moment. Maybe from that report, 186 looking slightly dodgy. They've got a point to on top of everybody else, so they've got a bit of a buffer. But I think that they really want to kind of close things out, not give anyone else the opportunity to come back at them. I know Andrew has the bounty that round, so him winning is very important. He's up against Neil Fote's double fire spray list. And here, as predicted, got the 2 hard round. Oh, nice turn in there from Dimitri. Bringing that second SF from the central board in to threaten Obi-Wan. That's very nice. So Annie maybe out there, can barrel roll out if he needs to. So we'll find out in a moment whether he feels he needs to do that. But again, Obi-Wan looking like he's in a slightly risky position. But Stephen giving a good account of himself. He's not going quietly into the night. He's keeping those arcs on. And he's going to get a shot this round. Obstructed through the rock, but we'll get it.
So quick
that,
a few tables.
That looks like... There we are. So I think that's definitely an arc for my eye.
So Ricky from Chaos looks like he is up against Lee from 1066.
Okay, that's not good news for 1066.
Lee is, I think, is shivering a bit down against the Sinker Squadron. Doesn't look like he's taken too much off in return. Alex from 186 is playing Nick from Firestorm, and Alex is his 5A wings are very up. He's taken 2 of Nick's ships, 1 Jedi, 1 Torrent off the board.
Okay, so that is
some amount of damage I didn't see, but all the A-wings are still in play.
Okay, so we think Firestorm probably needed everything to go perfect. So if that's the case, then maybe they're out of it. Got some fire coming in here. Nothing much happening. There's a lot of blank dice. And now
Mark from Firestorm looks like he's doing a pretty good job of chewing through a Sinker Swarm. Played by TNX. Played by Chris from TNX. So yeah, it sounds very much like...
Sounds it's in the balance maybe between 1066 and 186 from what you told us, but there's a lot of points flying around in this final round, so it's very hard for us to predict. This looks like it's going from bad to worse a little bit. That looked like very disappointing attacks there from Stephen. And now taking another 3 dice. Some paint there. Don't know how we're looking from a force point of view. From the body language suggests not enough. So that's maybe a dead Obi-Wan. So very dead Obi-Wan. And I don't know that a half points Anakin can do this.
It's a lot of work he needs to do.
And this really shows the getting your positioning right in the early game pays dividends. Dimitri's last couple of turns have been fairly simple, fairly obvious, but that is a direct result of him keeping his options open for those first few rounds. He could always move in, he could always threaten at least 2 different directions.
Yeah, that aggressive opener we were surprised by actually enabled him to always be putting pressure on Steven. Yeah. So Steven's always been
he saw the V19 vulnerable in the middle of the board, knew he could close it down quickly. And as he came through the rocks, always could go in 1 or 2 directions. It was never... He could always turn towards the alley, he could always put pressure on.
It was never predictable, always had an out if he needed it.
As I say, there's that one initial turn where he blocked some of the banks that he maybe could have turned in. But even then, risked taking 2 to 3 shots if he called it wrong.
Yeah, Dimitri's done a good job with these 5 ships of covering his weaknesses.
Oh, absolutely. And then once you get up with this list, there's just so much on the board, so many arcs, that it will snowball quite quickly. Dale has come to join in with the stream.
No, it's looking close up there.
Oh, the scores are looking close. Yeah, absolutely.
How are your guys doing, Dale? We've seen one looking a bit dodge. How do you think their games are going?
It looks like Lee's having a rough one.
Yeah.
You won yours.
Yeah.
Who else have you got?
Well, we've got Pete there next to
Oh, of course, yeah, I didn't see that.
Where is
So Pete looks like he's been solid all day. We think that there are bonus points for the people who top their pod. Their tournament today has been split up into 4 kind of pods or pools, and we think there's a bonus point for the top of each of those. 1066 looking good for 2 of those. Dale having gone 6-0, and Pete also maybe on 6-0. I'm asking you, man. It's your team.
Oh no, he's gone.
All right, it's 4-1. Okay, so that those bonus points with it being that tight really could make the difference.
And Dimitri, as I said, we're going to try and get on stream at some point today just to run through all the bonus points. He's playing currently, but I feel like this game's probably not going to time to have a
chat. It's a good opportunity to get him on to have a chat.
Questions in the chat from Dom, I think. So it is Patterson playing the Twin SF, playing against the Twin SFs. Steel looks to me like it's very cagey. I think Andrew had one aggressive block, but basically everything is spread out and in different directions. From this point, hard to see what's going on, but it looks like it's been a very, very cagey game.
Yeah, so just to clarify, I think you might have misspoken there. So that matchup is Andrew with an SF swarm, very similar to this, but a mix of missiles and a TIE FO in there to kind of give him the points to be able to take some more expensive missiles against twin fire sprays from Neil Fote. But everything's still on the board. Anakin has a bit of space now.
Yeah, this turn's not bad for Anakin. He has the opportunity, so he is still going to get fired at by the SF he's closing in on, because it has passive sensors, so it can still lock rotate.
What I do not know is where we're at in terms of cluster missiles, but you get so many charges with these things, I imagine they've all still got them. Right. And that's range 3, which is absolutely perfect for the SF. No tokens, so just relying on force from the defensive side of things. Oh, he gets the target lock, reroll for 2 hits.
Range 3 for the SF, 3 dice.
Looks like he takes it. I think he took 2.
So let's assume it is
probably a little bit too little too late at this stage, but nice to be getting damage through. So he's going to rotate that arc, as we said. So this is the passive sensors trigger, take the target lock, I presume, into the arc rotate.
And because the SFs aren't color coded, they do have numbers on, but obviously from our view we can't see that, so we are tracking damage, but it's very much indicative rather than accurate.
And so 2 hits there, and at least 2 blanks from Anakin. It's not a happy looking Stephen, and some more damage going on there. Coming towards the end here, we're gonna. So that's 1 health left on Anakin by the looks of things. And another shot coming in from downtown, which he evades.
So actually, again, that positioning from Stephen there was really nice, but just not rewarded.
And he's too far behind.
Yeah.
You know, the Jedi struggle versus 3 dice attacks. The Delta 7Bs. If you're getting them shot, they are going to take damage.
And now Dimitri's at a point where he has locks in place with almost all of his list, and so now he's going to start adding calculates or just focusing.
He's taking the focus, right? Because he can be defensive.
And so in fact, it just gets harder for Stephen now as he's so far behind the curve.
Yep, I think that was Alex versus Nick. Just responding to the chat.
Yeah, it was looking pretty comfortable for Alex. Yeah, Nick did not look like he was in a good situation. And again, I think it's just that multitude of shots, right? If you get one torrent too far out and it gets exposed, it can't take 5 rounds of fire with a single token.
So Stephen doesn't really have any choice here other than just to keep trying to plink away. So make the conservative moves, take the range 3 shots, and I mean, he probably wants range 2 given that he is not going to get that defensive bonus. Clusters aren't range 3. Okay, so that's a surprise. That looks like range 3 to me, but obviously it's range 2. So yeah, keep making conservative moves, keep trying to get those range 3 engagements, hope that you plink more damage through than you take. But at this stage, he's so far behind. It seems like an almost impossible task.
And again, it's one of those, like, he has taken too much damage at this stage, right? It's going to be almost impossible. But if he gets out of this, if he doesn't get killed by the SF at the bottom of the board, he's in a real position. Like, next time that thing is 2-turning or 3-turning, right?
Yeah.
That's its only options. The other two are going to struggle to get around the rock and get meaningful shots. He's got the potential to isolate one.
So the 3 bank in here.
Again, always easy with perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. But the 3 bank in here looks like it probably arc dodges everything but the guy at the bottom, who's half. You kill him before he, in a perfect world, you kill him before he fires.
I think that one might have 1 shield left.
And
here we go.
So here you can boost in, take the lock, cross your fingers. Unfortunately, as we
try and have a look and see. Actually, let's just hide the dice camera for a second.
So if you want to be more conservative, the barrel roll out bank boost is very close to still being an arc. I don't know if that works.
Like doing a heroic thing, boosting in, presumably takes a lot.
I think you have to. I think that. I don't think that's going to work out for him. If they're both.
Neither of you are getting shots.
Yeah,
both of you are getting shots.
If they're both still at 45 degrees, there's no way that works.
Yeah, Nick has just walked over with the look of a man who is glad that he has finished playing Swiss for today. Show me on the map where the bad man touched you.
Oh, well, maybe they're not in a perfect angle. So, didn't measure Annie's arc. Slightly out of order there, measuring all Dimitri's arcs first.
Hey, when it's your
but
time,
no shots. yeah. But and Annie's for the barrel roll back is going to get plinked. And the way that Annie's evade dice have been going, you wouldn't be surprised here if this does it.
So only 2 dice, range 3, but has lock focus.
I've killed the dice cam somehow.
So
but gets the 2. But we got 2 evades, so we're okay.
So actually, again, that boost barrel roll has left Stephen fewer choices in terms of getting into the side arc of the SF, right?
Yeah, and
that one forward.
It's easy to say here when there's nothing on the line, but you feel like his only hope is that he starts sort of god rolling and the boost in, range 1, take the target lock, hope for 4 hits and killing the SF. Then there's one thing off the table. You don't take any more shots, and you start to win the game, or not win, but come back. And it is high risk, but at this stage, that's the only way you're going to come back into this. Is
Anakin, of course, can regen, right? So if he's not going to get shot, he's going to.
I think he's regen twice. I think he's done. He certainly regened once, and I think he regened twice.
FFG tokens, it is impossible.
Who knows? One of those charges actually looks face up. Maybe he's got 1 charge left. Not enough to take him over half.
Yeah, it just gives you a tiny little bit of durability, right?
Could be relevant if he did get back up to the kind of winning on points position, which is a long way. Then it could be relevant for running away and staying alive. But he's doing Stephen's doing a good job of staying in the game here. He's not giving up. He's keeping getting shots. He really wants the only move that the Jedi don't have on their dial here with the 1 straight forwards. The barrel roll in to block even that. I think the play here from Dimitri is the barrel roll behind. And the question is, does Annie call it and sloop over the top?
It'd be amazing if he has.
If he has, I think Stephen deserves to just pick a ship and take it off the board. So as Lloyd was rightly saying, these guys with that rock in the way, having to take an extra turn to come round, can cover the escape.
Surprised. The SF by Dimitri's left putting key finger is not the one that went first, because I would imagine he's doing something like a 5 forward. Maybe he's 3 banking it around and covering himself for next turn. But I'd have been inclined maybe to do that one first and just hammer it down through the gap. I suppose
yes, yeah. I can understand what you're saying.
So a red 1 turn, just snips inside the rock.
Yep, nicely judged. And then maybe the 3 bank at this point.
Yeah, I think it's probably sensible, right? And against a 1 health Anakin again, just spread your arcs, make sure you get shots.
Yeah, and he's even if he sleeps now, he's getting shot. There is no place on the board where Anakin doesn't get shot.
By at least one thing, right?
By at least one of them, and one of them is probably enough at this stage.
Again, really nicely played by Dimitri, right?
Yes, yeah.
Spreading arcs wide, getting shots with everything he needs to.
And assuming Anakin is turning up board rather than towards the board edge. The K turn.
So he might.
He's not getting bullseye, but he might get range 1.
Looks like he will get
really.
K turn, right? So
I'd advise. I don't like this side of the ship movement. I don't think anyone can do it accurately. So I think that was a turn to take the ship off and do the K turn. But both players happy with it, and who am I to criticise?
Right? Everyone's playing in a really good spirit.
But has the range 1, has a force at least. Checking bullseye. So spends, takes the lock. Because nothing else he could do to stay out. It looks good. At least 3.
It's going to kill him.
That's 1 paint, but no token.
Barrel rolled. I believe that is a dead SF.
Was that a 4th? Are you sure that was a 4th hit? Or was it only seconds? So no, alive on 1. Unfortunate there. Small knock on Annie there. He wasn't in bullseye, so he needs to come across. That's about right.
So Stephen now, having said about Delta 7s, just needs to ride his green dice.
A 3 dice hit here from a cluster missile, and he can do nothing about it. So that is 1 into nothing. Anakin's dice in this game have really not helped. Very, very well flown by Dimitri. Not the dice that are the deciding factor at all, but they removed any chance of the comeback.
Yeah, absolutely. Classic situation of being in a situation where you're behind the curve, needing your dice to help you out, and they just
said no. Okay, guys, so that's it. That's the final stream game of the day. We've still got a bunch of games going on here. So they're still playing. I think we have called it too early.
We may have called this prematurely.
It certainly looked like damage went through, and it certainly looked like he was on 1 health. But who knows?
I think they might be in post-game talk. I'm not sure. They don't appear to be asking them. There's been no.
Oh no, yeah, they are. I think they're just deep in talk. So. Yeah, Rogue's coming off the board.
Dimitri, I'm going to come have him talk a little bit about the tournament system. And in the meantime, I'll go and grab some more results and see how things are going for you.
Cool. So hi, we're not going to give anyone the pleasure of looking at you, just hearing you.
Don't miss anything.
So if you just hold that up to your mouth.
Yeah.
So that went pretty well.
Yes, I had extremely hot dice, I think, and good movements.
I think the good movement was the key. I think your dice were reasonable, but I think you watch it back. Both Lloyd and I were really impressed by how you played it. You came through the rocks really nicely. You never gave the Jedi an opportunity to turn in safely. You kind of kept the pressure on really nicely. I think we both thought you played it almost flawlessly. That was a really nice play. Have you enjoyed the day?
I've enjoyed the day massively. I'm very happy that so many people turned for the event, and I hope that we will be able to continue the event and carry on in next year.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying on stream all day that it's been done in such a good spirit that everyone's been having fun, and then like the same next year, but with more squads, right?
Yes, and we'll have to see who wins it, because the stipulation is that the winning team may decide to host it at their local club.
Oh, I was unaware of that. We unless Darksphere up their game, the 186 may have to throw this hard in the last round. So you guys are in it to win it. I don't know how the rest of your squad's getting on. We'll let you go and check in a moment. But just talk us through, because we've been doing a kind of garbled attempt all day at explaining the scoring system. Yes. So can you explain it to us?
I did my best to make it very confusing for everybody so I can have an advantage. So the scoring system is complex. So the maximum points a team could score is 32.
Okay.
And that would be with all 4 team members winning the 6 games.
Yep.
Which gives them 24. Topping a pool gives an extra point, so that would be another 4.
28, yep.
And they have 4 bounties that they can use. They can only be used once per round, and each player can only use 1 bounty, which would get you to 32 points at maximum. The bounties, I think they've gone well. I think
people have been using them. Sort of, we've seen both the double points, but also people using them and then losing. They seem to, and they've kept it close. I think they've allowed teams to come back from a kind of slower start. And I don't know if you're aware of exactly how close it is, but going into this round, we had the 186 up by 1 point, scoring a total of 16. And that shows how close it's been. I mean, no one's going to get anywhere near that maximum points. You know, it's been good competitive excellent all day. But you guys and 1066 both on 15, with Zombie and Dead Squadron probably not out of it on 13. So we think those 5 teams are still in the mix. You've obviously done as much as you can now with your win.
Yes. So that was the whole purpose behind the bounties and the pool bonus, to be able to create enough difference between squadrons. Obviously, it has not worked amazingly.
I think this is perfect, because I think you within that you'll have teams who've won a lot of games but haven't played the bounties at the right time, and you'll have teams that have used those bounties to come back. And actually, the pool win is going to be huge. The pool win points may be the thing that make the difference overall.
Let's see how it all goes then.
So yeah, cool. Well, thanks for talking to us. Thank you for running the event. It's been a huge success, and I secretly hope that you guys win again, so you can do it all again next year.
Well, yeah, or you.
Well, yeah.
So thanks for commentating and helping with the stream. I think sacrificing your whole Saturday for this when you're not playing is fantastic.
Well, Lloyd and I have had an amazing time. This is all down to Nick. Nick was the one here early, setting everything up, so it's him that needs the thanks, really. But we've had a blast commentating.
No, of course, the whole Firestorm Squadron coming and setting up the stream for us, that's absolutely brilliant. It shows you that the community is ready to rally behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone here, I've not heard a negative word said all day. Even the 186th are not complaining about dice too much. So, I mean, that shows that everyone's having a nice time.
Maybe you haven't heard them.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible.
But thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Thank you. So we'll see if we can get a quick word from Stephen. And then we'll probably leave you guys. We'll post the final results. They're going to take a few minutes to come in. It's going to be 20 minutes left in the round, and then probably a decent amount of time whilst we work out the final scoring. So if you keep an eye, I'll get Lloyd to come back and sort of post and update you all about how things are looking. But if you keep an eye on the Warball Facebook page on the UK group, I'm sure that we'll have the results up there, so you can keep it going. So bear with me 2 seconds. We'll go and try and find Stephen or Lloyd to come back and tell you how things are going. Back on. So Stephen has kindly agreed to talk to us. So how's your day gone? Let's start with the positives.
I've won 2 games, so the extended didn't go very well. But I was supposed to seem to pick up in the final.
Have you flown that Jedi list much before, or is it picked up for today?
Yeah, I have played it a fair few times, but I've only really been practicing against the same people, so I hasn't really been tested properly.
Great, you seem to do a decent job with it. We thought, obviously that kind of outcome was really brilliant. We thought that Dimitri played almost flawlessly. He just did not give you an opportunity to come in.
He was fantastic.
And then when you needed the evade dice, Anakin just wasn't playing.
No, neither was Obi-Wan. It was just blanks after blanks after blanks. It was the same with, I wasn't even getting the hits through either to begin with. It picked up when it was just Anakin there.
But it was too late, right?
Far too late.
Yeah. I mean, we don't think you played badly at all. I think you were just given. You got to the point where you had to take risks. You had to just turn in and cross your fingers, and the crossing your fingers didn't work, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, when I turned in with Anakin rather than just keeping skirting around. Which perhaps I should have kept skirting around, but I needed to shoot him at some point.
Yeah.
I'd already lost the torrent, and
I think
everyone was just being chased into the corner, so I just needed to shoot him.
Yeah, I think that was right. I think early game there was maybe you could have run for a turn more, but the way Dimitri was playing, I don't know that he'd ever given you the opportunity. I think he was
very good player.
Yeah, just
it was just oppressive.
Yeah, it was like those rocks weren't there. They just weren't causing him any problems at all.
I thought I was like fantastic and kind of got him engaging through the rocks. That'll be to my benefit, but no.
And so the wins, how did they go? What was the key in the wins?
They were both quite close, to be honest. I found because in the extended ones I was being a lot more cagey with Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yep.
And then when the High first came around, I was a bit more aggressive with them. That seemed to work out quite well for me.
Yeah.
I'd just take something out really quickly. And then I was
because they can hit really hard those ships, right?
They can, if you can get them in close, they can do quite a lot of damage. But that worked out really well, but certainly not against us.
I think it was a hard match. I think Dimitri played it flawless. He just did not give you the opportunity to get involved. That V19 either ran away and blew up or turned in and blew up, right?
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I can either try and get him to chase it, which I thought was better because if he was chasing that, he's not chasing the
absolutely.
Guy, or I could turn it in and maybe he gets like a hit or something.
Yeah, if it survives that one round more, maybe it's in a tricky position for him. Yeah.
I was thinking of turning it in, but I was like, I knew I couldn't get bumps with it.
Yes. Yeah, you're just too far away. Yeah.
So he just fall short of me, and I just get a bunch of range one shots. Yeah. So he's probably just going to die. So if I ran away, he might chase after me.
Yep.
Which he kind of did, but which was nice. But he kind of split off. At
that you wanted him. You needed the V19 around for one more turn to draw him a little bit further into the corner. Yeah. But not badly played at all. I mean, I think the standard of all the games we've said today is really high, and you were no exception. No mistakes from either of you. But hard matchup and just ran into somebody on the top of their game. I think that was really well played.
Yeah, Dimitri was fantastic. But regardless, it was a really good match.
Yeah,
it was good fun. It's been a great day.
And and I think everyone's been having an awesome time. So thanks for coming to talk to us. Cheers for going on stream.
Thanks for having me.
And hope you guys do all right in the final countdown. No one has any idea how the scores are going to end up.
No,
right, cheers, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So that is probably it for us. We'll give Lloyd a couple of seconds more to gather the scores. Phil is giving me thumbs up, so we've got 2 wins from Alex Burt and Phil GC, and in Phil's opinion both Andrew and Joel are looking good, barring any crazy scoring from the pod win bonus points. We think if the 186th win those games, they are probably home and dry, but the pod win bonus points will make the difference if it's close, because they're only a point ahead coming into this round. So we will hang on for 2 seconds. Lloyd, are you ready to give us an update? Lloyd has no idea what's going on, so come and say goodbye, and then I think we're signing off. So cheers for everyone who's watching. Cheers for all the comments to the chat. It's nice to know that we're not just talking to ourselves. Go team Phil. Phil has unfortunately found out about this, so probably stop it now, because you're going to hear it enough from him anyway. Thanks for everyone for joining us on the chat. It's been super fun. Lloyd and I have really enjoyed it. We will try and force our way back on again at some point in the future, but if you vote now, vote hard enough, vote with your cash, maybe you can prevent that from happening.
You can donate at streamlabs.com/Firestorm Squadron Firecast/tip.
And please do, because as we said, Nick and indeed all the Firestorm guys were here this morning setting up. They've done an awesome job. Giving you guys all a full day of entertainment. So thanks for us, and us too.
This morning setting stuff up, so really good event.
Giving Lloyd and I something to do.
Kept us up the streets.
And it's been a blast. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and we will catch you all next time.
You can check the Facebook event for final results.